Right, here we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Order. I am your dungeon master for the evening, Susie. Hello. How's it going, everybody? So, you all know what this is by now. This is the weekly viewer game where I rip off horror movies and do cheap D&D versions of them. It's fun. But before we get started, before I do a recap of last week and a little taster of what's in store for tonight, I'm going to drop my notebook and then I'm going to ask everybody to introduce themselves, and we'll start with our dwarven cleric, Mr. Pangalactic.
Hello. Why did you make me go first? I suck at this bit.
That.
Hi everyone, I've not been here for a while. I'm Chris, I'm Pangalactic, and I'm playing Darak, the dwarven cleric who don't give no shits about nobody, and I can't wait. It's been far too long.
Alright. And next up we have Doxy.
Oh, howdy, I'm Doxy. I play Bryn, the half-elf ranger, and her trusty companion, Marzipan, the giant ferret. Bryn's not good at people, but she's great at animals.
Nice. And next up, going along the top, we have Winged Horizon. Welcome.
Hey everybody, I'm Josh. I'm on Winged Horizon on all the social medias. I'm playing Finwa, also known as Darkness, who is a half-elf warlock. And he's out to get some monsters and take care of the people who are with him.
Nice.
So you said Finbar, and I was like, the world does not need two.
No. No, it does not. I gave him a mansion last week.
Sure did.
Get somebody a mansion.
A very haunted mansion, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Welcome. Next up, we have Quantum Witcher.
Hello, my name's Sab, known to the interwebs as Quantum Witcher, and I will be playing Krozosh, the no-nonsense Dragonborn Paladin. He's here to slay monsters, and he is stopping at nothing for it.
Nice. Well, welcome. Next up, we have Will Avery. Oh,
G'day.
you're muted. Oh.
My name's Will, or Will Avery. I'm playing Fergus, the dwarven cleric. Bit surly, usually drunk, likes hitting things with a hammer and blowing things up.
I feel like that's all we need
That
to
it?
know. That's yeah. I like it. Simple, to the point. And last but certainly not least, we have Crimson Kitty.
Hello, I am Crimson Kitty in all of the places. I am playing Torrent, a water genasi cleric who is here to assist in any way she can, while also reminding everybody that the King of Watermetals is a god. He really is. That's God.
Nice. Okay, well, just before we get started, just want to remind everybody, you can shape how this game goes. If you retweet, if you donate bits, if you donate, you can have an input on the game. So there should be a link popping up in chat at some point. We'll tell you how different ways you can get involved. Thank you, Will. Anyway, so last week, I'm hesitant to call you heroes, but there was a running involving George Clooney in the streets of the town where the headquarters are, which involved legal representation for Mr. Clooney, which then spiraled into Finbar getting a letter, a will from his great uncle Cyrus, who had bestowed upon him a great mansion. And it was all his. If only he could just stay the night. One night, it would be his. So, with all the bravado in the world, they marched up to the house. They walked in, like, yeah, this looks fine, we could do this. A door slammed shut, a lawyer was killed, and then the haunting began. After a series of ghosts involving one player not getting the hint that he maybe shouldn't touch a hammer and getting walloped for nearly his entire health several times, a very sexy elderly maid ghost and Finbar The party sat around finding skulls and completing a ritual. The only catch is they believed to complete the ritual, they needed a sacrifice. Whereupon the entire group turned upon one person and tried to murder him. The session ended as he was put to sleep and they dragged him away to do their dark work. That was last week. We begin.
So upset I missed that.
Our session begins long, long ago in a faraway ancient land named Thebes, which is distinct from the real Thebes. We see a grand palace of white stone, beautifully painted in blues and reds, with figures of gods and kings painted, worshipping and being worshipped. We pan to a large room, and we see a woman painted gold with black marks upon her skin. She seems to be getting jiggy with another man dressed finely in priest's clothing. He puts a hand on her shoulder and smudges the makeup. The doors open. He runs and hides. And we see a king dressed spectacularly in fine linens and a tall crown walks in and greets the woman. He notices her shoulder. He points to it accusatorily. She denies everything until she steps forth and pulls a dagger from his belt. The priest appears behind him, and suddenly the king's chest is pierced. He falls to the ground dead as the king's guard flood the room. We find you, centuries later, traveling in a foreign land. It is scorching hot in this desert, and you are a part of a caravan. You have been hired to escort a woman and her brother to this foreign land, so she may excavate an area in search of this lost city and lost treasures. You have been hired as protection because this is a very dangerous task, and there are many people who also want to find these lost treasures, and they may cause this woman and her brother harm. So, we find you all relaxing in a tent, sheltering away from the midday sun.
Oh, this heat is not doing my scales any good. At least it's not the worst I've seen.
Tell me about it while you have a strong beer and full scale.
If only we had some of that right now. This isn't the typical thing I'm hired for, but whatever pays the bills.
I would like if we get this done sooner rather than later. I feel like I'm evaporating. I'm going away. It's so hot.
Can't you, like, generate water? No? Water Ganassi? You can't generate water? No?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said at first.
No problem.
Yes, I can.
Maybe perhaps we all sit down and enjoy a refreshing water.
I certainly can do that. I create I look for a container, a vessel, and create some water for everybody.
Yep, okay.
Here's
So
to not evaporating.
there's plenty of cups and stuff around.
Yeah.
Generate some water, hand it out amongst the party.
Water. No,
So hot,
hopefully
I don't
this
even
will help.
remember what we're doing here. Where are we going?
Okay, as you say that, Bryn, the tent flap opens and a very improperly dressed for the desert woman walks in. She's wearing like a high-necked blouse with a corset, a long skirt, her hair's tied up, like pinned up, and curls and all sorts of pins all over the place. She is wearing a wide-brimmed hat. And she says, Well, wonderful that you're all here. Are you all quite ready to begin our journey? We have just a short trip. My friend, Mr. O'Donnell, says that he knows the way to this hidden land, and he can show us. However, I would just like to say that, well, we have some competition. You see, his old military friend Lenny has also brought about a band of adventurers, and well, they're not quite as polite as I may be, or my brother, John. Couldn't think of another one. Right on the spot. So we're due to leave on camel within about 2 hours if you're ready.
We're ready now. We're good to go. Let's go.
Very ready.
No use in
When
resting.
you're ready.
All right.
Let's go
Well,
do this.
I'll tell O'Donnell that we're ready to set out now then. We will have to wait for the sunset though, unfortunately. He says we have to go to a certain bluff at some point, and then he's all worried because there's evil in the sands. And
What kind of land did he say this was?
oh, it's the City of the Dead.
So very
Evil
quiet.
is my business. Should be good.
Well,
I
legend
haven't had
says
proper evil in a while.
Legend says that a man who was very naughty got buried alive there centuries ago. Now, I'm not so interested in raiding tombs. However, I've heard that this place is the location of a specific book. And that book will be very, very, very interesting to me. And might get me into Denbridge Scholars. I've been applying for years and they keep rejecting me, you see.
And
Look at
what
you.
kind of book would that be, if I may ask?
Oh, the Book of the Dead, yes.
I've heard you probably shouldn't read from that aloud.
Oh, what harm ever came from reading a book?
I see why I've rejected you
Typical.
time and time again.
Knowledge is power, Mr. Derek, sir.
Knowledge
Absolutely.
is
I say
power.
we get this fine lady her book. I'm for it.
I'm not
And what
worried. I
creatures have
can't
you heard
read
about?
very well.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Go ahead.
What creatures? Oh, I'm not so worried about the book. I don't have any desire to read, and I'm not very good at languages that aren't easy to pick up. Small words.
My only concern is what monsters or creatures we may be encountering. What legends
Oh,
have
it's
you
a-
heard of this place?
It's a bunch of old huckum and superstition. To keep the tomb raiders away, you see.
Now listen here,
I
young lady.
love killing hokum superstitions as she
Listen here.
sharpens
If
her
you
blades.
only heard of the Hokum and superstition that almost killed me in my time. Whatever, forget it. Let's go and we can kill whatever.
Well, if
comes
there
up.
is anything terrible and dark and monstrous in those sands, well, then that's what you guys are here for, yes?
Suppose so,
We go
yeah.
It is.
I get the book, I read the book, we go home. It's as simple as that.
Quite.
That's the deal in my book.
All right. I'll meet you by the camels. And then she just turns and leaves.
Is there any shade nearby?
No, you're in the desert.
No. Just the
Alright.
shade that she's throwing.
Bryn sits down behind the biggest of the party in their shadow and starts sharpening her blades, counting her arrows.
I think I'm gonna be like
Relaxing.
wearing just like kind of a turban, almost like a turban, like the because it usually is moist and it keeps it cool. But
Nice.
yeah, I'm sitting calmly and just staring almost blankly at everybody.
Krozosh joins Bryn in sharpening and oiling his weapons quite meticulously.
I am making water for people as they need it, and also just talking to like nobody but everybody at the same time about Istishia. Just going on and on.
I can't believe you just brought me here. You want me to come here to this place, this dry and dead place. There's better places to find creatures.
And you're just talking to myself. Seems like.
Seems like.
Fergus, while this is ripping the like tearing the arms off his vestments and just making kind of like almost a singlet, I guess, and trying to like fashion a makeshift hood out of what he can while sipping ale. He's that guy.
It's like the most Australian PC I've seen ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's
You got little
like
corks hanging from your hat.
No corks. No corks. No thongs either.
Thongs are sandals for people who don't know.
Not the other kind.
Not the pants kind.
Nope. Maybe the pants kind. It's the weather for it.
Well, maybe. This
No.
is true.
It's a footwear kind, not the pants kind.
Okay, so a few hours pass and you guys are taken out to your camels. And these are honorary camels. They do not seem too happy to be ridden by a bunch of adventurers with all sorts of weaponry clanking and clinging around them. But after a bit of calming down and goading to go in the right direction, the camels acquiesce and allow you to mount them. And you start your journey off into the desert.
Bryn would help everybody to calm their camels and get them
Yeah,
appeased.
like the only person whose camel isn't kicking off is Bryn's. Like Bryn's like, all right, camel. Camel's pretty chill. But you begin your journey into the desert, and it's long, it's difficult, it's hot, and just as it's starting to drag on into the afternoon, you see to your left, just meters and meters away at this point, pretty far away, you see another traveling group. And you see as Ellie, the woman up front, turns to her friend, who is a handsome young man with a 90s haircut and muscles in a white shirt and two crossbows on holsters under his arms.
Does he look like he's just been freed from prison?
He does, but he looks like he did manage to get a good shave and a haircut.
Oh, good.
You see to them share a look, and then they look and he points and he turns back and he says, that's the other group, that's Lenny. I can't do Brendan Fraser's voice, I'm sorry.
Bryn would take great interest in this handsome man and ride up close to him, and she would say, "So we get to kill Lenny?"
And well, as you move up closer, you see he has lovely blue eyes and very kissable lips, and he looks at you and says, "Yeah, sure. If they fuck us over, we fuck them over."
I will bring you the blood of Lenny.
Thank you. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Krozosh is looking far into the other group and trying to discern if there are anywhere near professionals or just a ragtag bunch coming together.
Okay, so you see that this group seems to be led by an elder man wearing a fez, and he has a little parasol. But behind him is a group of they look like they're together and they've traveled around a lot together, and they're all very similarly dressed, but they look like a band of mercenaries. You're not sure if they're like top tier adventurer caliber, but they seem to be kitted out, and they seem to have some sort of idea of what they know, of what they're doing.
Yeah, at least better than bandits then.
Yes, they're at least a step up from bandits, yeah. And as you carry on moving, O'Donnell kicks the camel caravan into moving a bit quicker. And sure enough, before long, you all meet upon this, like a bluff overlooking another long stretch of desert. And as you stand here waiting, the other group join up. And you see that there's a very thin-looking, weaselly guy who looks at your group and goes, O'Donnell. And O'Donnell goes, Lenny. And Ellie says, what are we waiting for, O'Donnell? He says, just wait. You'll see. And he takes a deep sigh. And as the sun begins to set, you see in the heat haze an entire city just appear out of nowhere like a mirage.
Has been some time since I had this happen to me. Still surprising, I have to say.
It's a cool trick. Where's the library? I've got a book to find.
Am I drunk, or am I seeing things, or what's going on?
Perhaps both, my
Why not
friends.
both?
Perhaps both.
Yeah.
All right, so as this city appears, you hear Ellie say, I'm Monaptra. And O'Donnell goes, you ready? And everybody almost instantly kicks their camels so hard, and they all start sprinting towards this city. And I would like everybody to make me animal handling checks, please.
Oh,
we are going to
God.
make this a race. We will see who gets to the lost city first.
Okay.
How do we do this? I am new to the
That's a
secret.
19 from Fergus.
So pick up your d20 and roll it in the chat box and add your animal handling.
Got it.
That's a 19 from Fergus on animal
19
handling.
for Fergus.
One.
Nice.
I rolled a natural
12
1 plus
for Darak.
1. I got a 2.
Tort got a 17.
It is a total of 15 for Krozosh.
Okay. Derek?
Bryn actually only got a 10.
12.
Okay, so Fergus and Krozosh are just gone. They are sprinting ahead. Their camels are going ape shit, and they're like "Whoa," holding on to the back. Unfortunately, Fenwa, you were a bit taken aback by the city, and you didn't quite notice that you were being left in a literal dust cloud. But you,
It looks beautiful.
it is. It's amazing.
I was like, let them be fodder for the monsters. I'll clean up after them.
Okay, Derek, Bryn, and Torrent, you are sort of in the middle of the pack. You're keeping speed, but you can see that ahead, far ahead, Fergus and Krozosh are gone. I would like everybody to make one more animal handling check, please.
I rolled exactly the same thing.
Good job.
Nat 20.
12.
17 from Fergus.
7 plus 1 makes an 8 for Krozosh.
All right. So, this time, Bryn, you're like, wait a minute. You know, your competitive edge kicks in. You're not going to be left in the dust. And you can see that the other group are keeping speed with you. In fact, one of their members pulling ahead, and you're not going to be beat by some sort of mercenary. So
Definitely
you,
not. Blood of Lenny.
not Lenny. You see, it's actually Lenny. It's Lenny who's pulled ahead. Now that
God, I'm gonna kill that guy so good.
that cannot be tolerated. So you whisper sweet words to your camel and ask it very sweetly if it will move faster, and it does. This thing is gone. And you start catching up with Fergus, and Fergus, you're like, yes, I'm dead ahead, awesome. And then suddenly Bryn's next to you.
Howdy.
What the flaming heck was that?
Krozosh, you are now head to head with Lenny, and 1 second. Does a 22 hit you?
How hit?
Your AC.
My
yeah,
AC.
does that
Okay, sorry. Yes,
beat your
my
AC?
Right.
22.
Okay, so you
nice.
take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as Lenny reaches across and thwacks you with the cane that he's been using to speed his camel on.
Ah, damn it. You should have seen
And he
this.
sort of like clips you around the back of the head as he just lurches on.
Ah.
You will get a chance to hit him back, actually, if you'd like to.
Smash his head in.
Not for now. Not for now. He'll keep his restraint. Not going to that territory immediately, but he will remember this.
All right. Okay. So I'm just going to make one final check for them to see how they do. Okay. So your pack pulls ahead of the lot, and you pull into a large ruined temple complex. There's not much left here besides columns, and there's a great granite doorway that leads into like a temple, but that seems to be heavily shut. But this looks like a good place to set up camp. And O'Donnell and Ellie and John dismount their camels and begin setting up a camp.
How far ahead is everybody from me?
Quite a fair distance, because you were quite near the back. And in fact, you're probably the last person to arrive completely out of even the other group. But by the time you get there, camp's already set up for you. It's fine, you know? And
So
you actually
both of the groups are at this camp?
Yes, both of the groups.
Okay.
However, you're at like opposite sides of the temples. You're not camping next to each other.
Okay.
Who got
So-
hit by that one guy? Who was it that was hit? Was it
It was
Krozosh.
Krozosh? Okay.
So what do you guys
All
say
right.
in the middle of the night? We sneak into their camp and kill them.
I'm in agreement.
Maybe. As much as
The
I'd
old
love to
shank
kill
and
them,
stab.
guys, we may be going into dangerous territory. We might need allies in the long run. I don't know about this.
Krozash, as you say that, a chillingly cold wind blows across the camp and blows the campfire out.
I would
Well,
like to
that's
do a
important.
perception check if I could.
Yeah, go for it.
And
How do I do?
meanwhile,
One, okay.
can I at the same time do an Arcana check, because that wind did not seem natural.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
That would have been a good idea, actually.
modifier. Yeah. So that's a 21 in total.
Nice.
I got an
Okay.
18.
Okay, so we'll deal with Fenwa first. So you're looking around the camp, keeping your eye on things. And you see that the other group have got themselves established now. They've got their tents set up. They have a little campfire going on. They seem to be talking amongst themselves. And you also see that they've brought a caravan of people with them. And these look like poor schmoes that they've hired to do their dirty work for them. So these people will be excavating, these people will be like opening doors and being general cannon fodder. You see that they're regarding your camp with great interest. They're watching you over, but they're not being aggressive towards you. In fact, they're almost joking with you and calling you and saying like, oh, we'll get the treasure first. You guys idiots, go home, you're wasting your time, you know, trying to be joking with it. But the overall place is, you can tell by looking at some of the markings that this seems to be a temple dedicated to mortuary rituals. This is a tomb of the dead. You see that like there's a great mural on one wall of mummification. There's a person laid on a table and someone digging into their face with a hook. Oh, what's that? We got a wild magic surge.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm so glad I didn't just cast
I
fly.
can't read that.
I can't read that.
Oh
For the
no.
kissable lips buffoon, I think.
Ah!
Just enough.
For O'Donnell.
Mr. O'Donnell.
O'Donnell.
Nick O'Donnell. It's for John. Oh, it's for John. Okay.
Who's the job?
Can somebody roll that for me? Chris, could you roll it?
Sure thing.
And let me do the thing.
995.
What's the chat command to get the thing?
Oh,
I'm
golly.
not
Just WMS.
I tried that and it didn't work. Hey, please hold. Technical difficulties.
Cool, I've got
there we
it.
go, wild magic.
Hey, there it is.
Thank you. So what was the number?
995.
995.
995. Oh, has a 10% chance to pick any mechanical lock. You helped, Mr. Nick O'Donnell. Thank you very much.
That's not how that meant to work.
Look, he's a very handsome man. Lock's just
Should have been
open.
turned into a tree or something.
I'm sure we'll get wild side soon.
Okay. But besides that, Fenwa, you don't notice anything overtly evil or spooky here. It's just kind of, it's just kind of spooky because it's like a tomb for a temple for dead stuff. But there's nothing like overtly like the curse of the mummy written on the wall or anything like that.
Really?
Krozash.
Would have never guessed.
Krozash, you were doing an Arcana check, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't detect anything magical, but somewhere deep inside, you know that this is somehow a storytelling device to say that things here might be spookier and not as they seem.
Oh, my spooky sense is tingling.
My bloodlust is.
I would say I don't like this, but I cannot lie. I do.
you gotta admire the aesthetic.
This is what I live for. This is what I've done for half a century now. Just go ahead,
Then let's
hunt
go
evil,
kill
hunt
Lenny.
magic.
Can I do a medicine check on this storytelling device to understand it and kind of more get and feel for it, how it actually works?
All right, no, you don't even need to roll for this. You take a moment and you go, if a storyteller was wanting to convey that there's something here, something buried deep beyond the sands with supernatural powers, perhaps a gust of wind that would blow out a campfire might convey something of that nature, but still be explainable by the characters in the scene so they don't immediately jump to a supernatural cause.
You're the best.
Everybody's proficiency in storytelling has increased. The Skyrim bar.
That is amazing. I have no words.
Can I relight
that's
the
my
fire?
I feel like I'm breaking.
Please.
Am I breaking the fourth wall?
Wall? What wall? So,
Darak would like to relight that fire, if possible. Like, take that circa 1990, whatever.
with all the flair of a 90s boy band, you relight that fire.
Damn straight.
Like
You're
your love
resting
is the
for the night, right?
My love is my only desire.
You can rest for the night. It has been a difficult journey. Actually, nah, it's too late to make you roll constitution checks for the exhaustion. But we'll just assume that y'all failed one anyway because it's a desert. So
When
you
everybody
would
is
need to
asleep?
rest.
When everyone's asleep, I want to talk to Marzipan and ask him to go check out the other camp and see how easy it would be to just kill Lenny. Just Lenny.
Okay, so everybody has bunked down for the night. Are any of you taking a watch or anything like that to make sure no shenanigans occur?
I'll take a look.
I'm
stay
gonna
awake
keep my
from that.
lantern of revealing like up partially so I can have that in my general vicinity while I'm sleeping.
Smart.
Before sleep, I notify the party that I will sleep, but anytime you're tired, just let me up. I will do a watch, whatever.
And for the beginning part of the watch anyway, O'Donnell and Ellie are awake and they're chatting amongst themselves. And you get the feeling that they might be getting a little bit drunk. They're passing a bottle backwards and forwards. And he's going, oh, what are you doing here? You're nobody. You're a girl out in the desert. And she's like, very drunkenly, she stands up and goes, Mr. O'Donnell, I am a librarian. And then she falls asleep. So, as the camp quiets down, O'Donnell's fallen asleep, as is Ellie. Bryn, you send Marzipan off to scout the other camp. And you see that they've had bottles of bourbon out and whiskey, and they seem to have a good time themselves. However, they do have a watch set up. Roll a stealth check for Marzipan.
Oh, dear.
Ooh.
Not good.
Ooh. Okay. So Marzipan tries to stealth his way across the camp, and he's doing like sticking to walls business on his little two legs and stealthing around. But as he makes his way into the other camp, he kicks a bottle and it clinks against a shot glass. And the guy on watch, who looks to be a very desert-worn guy, who kind of looks like an American cowboy, kind of, looks down and goes, damn rats, and shoots a crossbow bolt at him.
Dex save?
No, he misses. It's a big miss. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
But
Marzipan never said you were to get.
The bolt is about an inch wide of Marzipan. You get the feeling that this guy has maybe had a lot to drink, and his aim wasn't great. He was aiming at one of 6 Marzipans and chose the wrong one. Marzipan ducks off back under the tent and peeks his little face under to get a look. Can I have an investigation check for Marzipan, please?
13.
13. Okay, he has a good look, a little determined nod before he scurries back to camp. And he lets you know that this camp is pretty well protected. They're all armed to the teeth, even Lenny. And it would be pretty difficult to sneak in there and just whack Lenny in the middle of the night.
Damn. All right, I'll take second watch.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to do before we move on from the night? All right. So, you all take your watches and you get a good restful sleep, and being under the cover of the temple and your tents, you find yourselves rejuvenated and refreshed, so that hypothetical level of wow.
Words.
Hypothetical level of exhaustion is gone. You all feel brand spanking new and amazing. But as you wake, you realize the other camp has been awake for some time, and they have already shipped a ton of people in, and they're working on opening that large black granite door that's engraved with warnings and all sorts that you can't read. That's in a series of pictograms. Some may even call them hieroglyphs.
But it seems like we could just let them open the doors, and then if anything bad happens, it'll happen to them.
Could be an idea.
Yes, let them walk into the traps.
Yeah,
I
let them do
I
it.
enjoy that. I
Yeah.
enjoy that very much.
So
It
do
could be
I.
a good show.
We could even just
Alright.
wait outside for them to get the book, and then when they come out with it, we kill them and take it.
Oh, I don't like
But what
that
if they read
idea.
it first?
I like that plan a lot.
Honestly,
As you
I
say,
would
what if they read it first? Ellie says, well, then they read it. It's just a book.
Okay.
And they'll be nice and distracted. Arrows in the head.
It is full
Oh,
of
that's
hypothetical
true.
spells and things, but that was to help the ancient peoples make their way through the afterlife. They're not real spells, of course. That would be ridiculous.
You do know that magic is a thing, right?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, my mother was spellcaster from this very land. Do you know? It's
From
in my
this
blood.
land.
You're very
Maybe if
pale
somebody
for
told them
someone
about
descended
Istria.
from this land.
Oh, well, my father was not from this land. He was called Lord
All right, then.
Dunarvan.
Was he?
England with an I.
Does sound familiar, but then I've heard too many lords. Maybe just similar to another name.
Yes, well, I get that a lot.
I really don't like this whole Book of Dead business, though.
Oh,
There's something more
Mr.
than...
Krozosh, sir. Please, it's nothing to be worried about. It's all, as I said, hokum and superstition. Ancient religions gone mad.
Oakum
It's
and
fine.
superstition. Here's to hoping
That
none of
does
us
seem a
will
little.
bite those words.
That does seem a little at odds with what you said about knowledge being power yesterday.
Well, I meant more as in the words of the more you know, well, the more you know.
Not if you're a wizard.
Ah, that is true, yes. Wizards are a thing, yes.
Be nice if we had.
Well-
Are you a wizard, young lady?
No.
Or
I
just
am a
a naive
librarian.
archaeologist?
No, not even an archaeologist. I'm a
Just a
librarian.
librarian.
Mr. O'Donnell is a ruffian, and my brother is a no good lazy layabout treasure hunter. And you hear a brother perk up from somewhere with like a bottle of gin and go, hey, I resemble that remark.
What sort of books do you have in that library of yours?
Oh, well. Beyond number, really. We have books about Tutmosis and Seti and, all the ancient kings and queens and lands and builders. In fact, we had a book about this very place. Although it was said to be legend rather than a real place, but now we're actually in the real place and it doesn't seem much like legend. So perhaps that tale was true about an ancient priest named Imhotep, named for the builder in real life, not the guy from the movie. And some say that he committed horrible, horrible treason against his king and was subject to a punishment unlike anything that's ever been seen before. He was buried alive. Could you imagine such a thing? They cut out his tongue, they bound his body with linen and coated him in the sacred oils and placed scarab beetles in his tomb. He was sealed alive in a sarcophagus. How awful would that be?
What's a
I can
sarcophagus?
think of worse.
Oh, a sarcophagus is
It's
what they
where you
put your
go.
body in when you die.
Like a fancy coffin.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Very ornate.
Yes, these ones in particular, very ornate, although his is said to be stripped of any sort of name or marking to denote who he is.
But how do we know who he is?
Well, you see, the thing about these ancient burial rituals is they believed that your name and your face carried with you into the afterlife, and they were very, very important to keep with you. So by stripping this man of his, he doesn't have one. And that is significant, as that's not a thing that was done to people.
At this point, suddenly Krozosh asks, in a persuasive tone perhaps, are these that you tell all about this Imhotep? And I especially wonder if he is stayed dead in all of your books that you mentioned.
Of course. He was a footnote. He wasn't even a subject of a book.
Would
How do we know
about
so
it if
much
we
about
had
him?
Religion?
Sorry, what was that, Fenwa?
He asked
Fenwa?
if he would
Sorry,
know
excuse
about
me.
him from
I said-
religion.
Would we have to? Would we need to roll a religion or not a religion or a history check to know anything about
yeah,
this, or would it just be
let's-
completely foreign?
We'll give it a wild shot. Roll a history check, and we'll see if it'll be a difficult one to do. But we'll see if there's anything you can hear that you might be able to pick up. 16. Okay, so
That's
You-
22 for Fergus.
22 for Fergus. Okay, so between the
Yeah.
two of you, you've picked up some stories about like really messed up ways people died, and this was one of them. You're not entirely sure how true it was or anything like that, but this is like, you know, on them like 10 dumb ways to die list. This was like 10 most fucked up ways to get killed list, being buried alive.
Dungeons
At
and
least they didn't make him
BuzzFeed
into an eagle.
show now.
So what was your
didn't make
question,
him into an
Pretty
Brent?
eagle.
messed up.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah.
All right. So while you guys are like stood around and you're watching this spectacle happen in front of you, Ellie sort of wanders off. Something piques her interest further into the temple away from you guys, and she just sort of goes whoop and walks off without a care in the world. You now are watching these workmen pulling this granite door open. And you see on top, there's the man on top of it because it's sort of like recessed into the ground a little bit. There's a little slope. And on top of this doorway, you see the man in the fez with a little parasol, and you see he's shouting at these people in their native tongue, and he's shouting at them to go faster, hurry up, get this door open. And one guy moves to the front and he jams a crowbar into it. And as the others pull, he pushes with all his might on this crowbar. And there's a gust of fetid smelling air, of the smell of death that has been blocked up for centuries just explodes out of this small gap. And a liquid shoots out onto this man's face. And you hear him scream, and he turns around and clutches his face, and you see his face is melting off.
Ouch.
That's
yeah,
one
maybe we
down.
should let the other group go first.
Could
That's
be an
what I'm
idea.
I second that.
Yeah, thirded.
Let them be fodder for the gods and for the.
And you watch as this
spirits.
guy walks away, he screams and screams in agony for a moment before he just drops face down in the sand. And nobody seems to regard him. No one goes to check to see if he's okay. No one goes to move his body. They just leave him. And the man on top of the door is just still shouting at the people to open the door, move faster, faster. And they do. And the door slides open, leading to a very, very dark, smelly, stale tunnel. So what would you guys like
What do
to
we
do?
see inside? If we can see inside.
You can't see inside from where you are. It's pitch black.
Dark
Even
vision.
with dark vision.
With dark vision, you
Yeah.
can see like 60 feet in, but it's still just tunnel.
Okay.
Okay.
Is dude dead, the guy with the acid melted face?
He's dead, yeah. He's not moving.
Okay.
Where is the other group? The other mercenary group?
They're kind of stood watching the whole thing, and as the guy turns around with the melted face, they all kind of go, ugh! And they all kind of recoil. But they're all there with their hands on their various weapons watching. They're watching you, but they're also watching what's happening.
I casually walk over to them and I say, "So, early worm gets the acid. Are you going in
Yeah.
first, or are you going to wait all day?"
No,
You hear
they're going in.
Bryn making a real show of being like, man, I wish I was as brave as Lenny. I just bet that guy's gonna go first. Gosh, if only I was as brave as him.
And he sort of comes up to you and goes, "Hey."
Hi.
Stop him.
I like
Stop him.
brave men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, I'm
Good luck.
hot.
and he pats you on the shoulder and leaves.
He goes in first.
No, he pats you on the shoulder and goes back to his group.
All right.
Ah, coward. And I walk by. I whisper in my breath.
Lenny.
The other group are preparing to head inside the tunnel. Do you want to let them go first, or do you want to go in first?
All right, gang. Let's let them go first. Give them a 30-second count, and then head in. That's my plan.
Do we still kill
Who's
Lenny?
I'll kill Lenny. Don't worry. Don't worry. Lenny's mine.
So be it. I think I agree. We should let them go in first.
All right.
Which one of us
Let's
is going to
go.
lead?
Sorry, what was that, Torrent?
Which one of us is going to lead this
That's a
expedition
good
down
question.
I'll lead. I
taking
can
point.
see in the dark.
there? Okay, I place my hands on Brandon and say some words and cast resistance.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Is that for everybody or just the first person?
Just the first person. I mean, I guess.
I join near Bryn, just brandishing my huge halberd. Just going, if anything comes along, this should be handy.
Hey, elbow ya. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Okay, so you watch as this group of mercenaries head inside with the enemy archaeologist, and they enter with some trepidation, and they are taking it slow. And there's one guy at the front of the group who is very, very obviously and clearly checking for traps. Like, he has a torch, and he's like every wall, every floor. He's taking his time to. As they enter the tomb, you hear a short scream cut off very quickly from behind you, and you turn and you watch as Ellie is stood there looking at a statue before the whole thing just into the ground, and she plummets.
How far are we, Ellie?
She's about 60 feet away from you.
It seems like we
far
found a new
away to-
entrance.
or- Oh, I don't
I
like.
start running towards her.
this.
I'll start charging as well.
So, Benoit and Fergus, you sprint towards the now hole in the sand, and you see that she's not fallen too far, maybe like 20, 30 feet at most, into a chamber below this level you were on. And it's very, very dark in here beyond the great hole. But you can see that it was a statue of a dog-faced god with the body of a man holding an ankh. And it's fallen into the ground. It was jet black compared to everything else, which is like made of sandstone, which has been eroded with time, but you can still see flecks of colorful paint. This thing is jet black. And at the base of this, in the hole where Ellie is now kind of sprawled out on it, is a black sarcophagus. Oh, you muted,
Okay.
Fergus.
I'll grab a python and some rope out my adventurer's bag, hammer it into the ground with my warhammer, and just start leading it down for someone to go down there.
Okay.
Or her to come up.
For someone to go down or for someone to come up, either or.
So what do you want to do, Fenwa?
Krozush is feeling a little adventurous, so he will just rush in and carefully jump down the hole. Rather
Okay.
than just using rope.
Roll me an athletics check, please.
carefully jump down a 30-foot hole.
Crossbow out just in case.
While he's doing that, Torrent is looking down there and asks, "Oh, is this the thing you got thing?"
Okay.
Yes, that's a sarcophagus.
You
Do you
hear
need some assistance, milady?
You hear from down below. She goes, "Oh my god, this is amazing! We found it! We found his sarcophagus. This must be. There's no markings. There's no name. There's barely even a face. Oh, and wait a minute!" And she reaches into her pocket because this girl's got pockets, and pulls out
Because this is a fantasy world.
This is a fantasy world. Too real. Pulls out this like black box, and she presses a button, and like prongs appear in like a shape of a star, and she places it on the sarcophagus and turns.
Oh,
and it like makes a clicking.
I've seen this moving image before.
And it makes a clicking sound as she turns, and as it does, the lid pops open, and again a stench of death just launches out of the sarcophagus, and it sort of springs open and flies open. As it does, there's almost a scream as Ellie goes, "Oh, well, I can't say that a mummy has ever made me At that very moment, Krozosh throws himself into the hole, and he comes flying down, collides with the statue, knocks the nose off the god, and smashes into the base. And you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, of fall damage, as you bang, collide with this statue.
Doing this as if I'm still 40. I am too old for all this.
At this point, Ellie turns around to you and goes, "Excuse me, sir, that was an historical artifact."
You're right. I apologize for that. Historical artifacts are important, I guess.
Knocked its nose off.
Excuse me,
Centuries
you
from
know,
now, people will blame this on the French when it wasn't them. It's about the Sphinx.
So
That
Bryn
sounds like
at this will hop down the hole, and she'll be like, "Going on? What's going on here?"
She turns around and she goes, "Oh, Miss Bryn, it's wonderful. We found the sarcophagus of Imhotep. Look at it. It's positively disgusting. You can see." And then she pushes the lid up with a great deal of strength. She pushes the lid up, and you can see inside the sarcophagus scratching of fingernails. And you see that the face is contorted in a scream. The jaw is hanging loose. There's bandages there. He's ripped free. Doesn't look good.
Like Lenny. How you gonna look? You gonna look like that?
It does look a little bit like Mr. Lenny, yes.
I'd like to check out the sarcophagus and see if I can discern how old the claw marks are. Or
Okay.
about how old, really.
All right. Roll me an investigation check.
Sure thing.
During this whole thing, O'Donnell is coming down the rope and checking to make sure that Ellie's okay. You know, he's very
That's a
dashingly taking her into
23.
his arms.
I think I'll follow down the rope as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a 23 investigation. Okay, so you are checking over the sarcophagus and these marks, and you can see that these are very, very, very old. You get the feeling that maybe this happened not a long time after he got buried, in an escape to try to free his prison. But you can tell from the edges of the sarcophagus that this thing was sealed with resin, so even if he had managed to do anything, he wasn't getting out.
I think we should feel lucky that these are not new.
JJ, what am I doing here?
Thanks for the raid! As you're investigating, you lean down and something gold glitters out of the corner of your eye at the base of the statue you just destroyed.
This does look interesting. So I cautiously reach out for that, whatever it is.
It's partially buried beneath the statue under a lot more of sand and dust and dirt. But you cautiously scrape it away, and you can see that this appears to be a large golden book, but made with heavy slabs.
While he's looking at that, I venture slowly down the rope.
What are the rest of you guys doing in here?
I followed O'Donnelly down.
I'll follow the rope down after everyone else.
I'm gonna wait at the top.
Okay, so everybody except Derek is down in the hole. Yeah, what are you gonna do, Bryn?
So having heard the lady scream about the blame of the artifact, she's just gonna carve Lenny was here into the base of the statue so that he gets the blame. And my friend is blameless.
Good to know, good to know.
I'd like to do an investigation once I'm down there.
Sorry, what was
Even
that?
in death, Lenny will be with blame.
What languages is everybody proficient with?
Common, Dwarven, and Elvish.
I have
Celestial, Common, Elvish, Primordial.
I have Common, Draconic, and sorry, let me have a look. I forgot what it was called. And Deep Speech.
Sorry, yeah, I have
Should've
Common,
done.
Elvish, Deep Speech, and Celestial.
Okay, Fergus?
Common, Dwarvish, Celestial, and I think Abyssal or Infernal? One of the two. I think it's Infernal.
Okay. Doesn't apply to you, Derek, because you're not there.
I always
Fergus,
get common and
as
dwarvish
you...
anyway.
Bless you. As you make your way down, Fergus, and you sort of check out the scene in front of you, you see a destroyed statue, you see a semi-roughed up dragonborn, you see Ellie with a bit of blood coming out the side of her mouth and a split lip, you see the sarcophagus open, and in the scratches, you can make out words. In Infernal, it says, "Death is only the beginning."
Well, that's grim.
Did you see
What's
something
grim?
in that?
Yeah, death is only the beginning. It's
Alright.
Infernal. It's a weird
Is this a positive
language.
way to look at dying?
Yeah. I mean,
Now this is getting interesting. There we go.
optimism forever. I mean,
I guess this one was always an optimist.
All right.
I would like to do an investigation if there's any walls.
Yes, absolutely. Roll me a check if you wouldn't mind. Or did you already roll?
I haven't rolled yet. It's investigation, right?
Yep.
Ooh, I'm doing terrible.
Okay. You can see that this chamber is actually pretty plain. You've seen other sorts of funerary chambers before, and they usually always have some sort of decoration. And going on what's upstairs, this place should have a lot more down here, even if it was just like effigies of gods, like as protecting. But there is nothing on these walls. They are completely blank. There's no even etchings or anything like that on the sarcophagus itself. It is just it's shape. There's no protective carvings. There's no gods. There's no words. Everything
Seems
is
this one
very
doesn't.
stripped down.
He may have been optimistic, but I don't think anybody liked him around. They wanted him forgotten.
That's the
Wasn't too
idea.
much of a-
That's what we were all talking about earlier, wasn't it?
maybe he was a massive downer at parties. I mean,
He talked about death too much, probably.
At this
Yeah,
point,
Death
Ellie
is only
pops
the
up.
beginning. Drink as much as you can.
I imagine so. He was. Oh, well, yes. Well, certain priests did enjoy a bit of alcohol, but he did kill the king, and that does make you a bit unpopular, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, I guess I would do it.
That does make sense.
Mr. Krozov, what do you have
Kill
there?
kings.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Well, you seem to be digging below the statue of Manubis.
Oh, yes. There's this golden lace book. Is an interesting one.
Can I just see that? One moment, please.
Suit yourself.
And she takes it from your hands, and she there's like a look of wonder. It's like Charlie finding the golden ticket. Her face just brightens up. She takes a deep breath, and she almost drops it. She goes, "This is it. This is the Book of the Dead. We found it, but..." and she's trying to get into it, but it's bound on both sides. But how do we unlock? Oh my god!
I would like to go back up that rope.
Okay, as you do that, no problem at all. At this point, O'Donnell steps forward and says, "Let me see that," and very expertly pops open the lock with the wild magic surge, and
Nice.
she flips it open, and it's a heavy, like there's sheets of gold, thick gold sheets. And she pulls it open, and her hands run over the carvings. And she doesn't read it aloud, but she's taking it all in. And she shuts it again and tucks it into a satchel she's got with her. And she says, "Let's not tell our mercenary friends about this, and we will look at this a bit more tonight. Yes."
Did I
Where are
recognize
they,
any
by
of the
the
carvings on the front cover?
Roll a history check.
Ooh.
Darak. I don't like the looks of this. Looks like a grimmer.
That is trash.
Not a fan myself.
That is an 8.
Okay,
I
so you're
like it.
Let me read this. I know what's going on. You don't have a fucking clue. You don't have a clue what this book says. And she seems to be reading it with ease. She's like, "Oh, And you're like, goose, sun, man, owl."
Can I, because I assume I'm, 30 feet above them, so I assume I can hear what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
If she starts to read it aloud, can I ready an action to cast silence on her?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Way to get rid of a plot, Chris. God.
That's what I do.
So we have the book. No fights. You just go now. All right.
Well-
And she starts climbing.
Not
She stops climbing.
There's more to excavate here. I mean, I was here for the book, but there's also, this is clearly a historical site. No one has been to Amanaptra in years.
Okay,
There's a
Mr.
dead
O'Donnell is to be
person.
believed.
but this room
Dead
is
person,
kind of
dead
spent,
person.
right?
Well, yes, this room is
There's
spent.
nothing in there. Let's go
Yes,
back to see
Mr.
how far
Fergus,
they got.
there is a dead person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
Do
go
you
follow
think that-
Tweedledum and Tweedledum and Tweedledum and Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
All right.
Shouldn't you close that sarcophagus? Just,
I'm playing with the lid
prudence.
over there.
That's a pretty good product. Thank you.
It just seems polite.
And then I'm like, I slowly close the lid. Go back up.
As everybody's sort of making their way back up, Ellie just turns to Fergus, and you can tell she's a bit of an oversharer. She goes, "Did you know, back in England, there's a colour called mummy brown for paints, where they take these mummies, they grind them up, and make paints out of them. It's ghastly.
England sounds like
And-
a really awful
What
place.
Some train companies
I roll
actually
to
use them
chunder
to
up my
fuel their
breakfast?
trains." Constitution
That's
saving
true.
throw. And did you know that mummies were used in some herbal remedies? Ground up. Could you believe it? Cannibalism as medicine.
That's a 19.
19.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel your lunch coming back up. You're like, "Whoop," but you keep it in.
Oh,
I've never tried it myself, but I've heard that there's a good crunch to mummia, is what they call it.
Meanwhile,
They
Yeah,
make
no,
a
let's
drink
go ahead and
called
close
Tetley
this.
out of it.
can I ask something?
Uh-huh.
Are Ellie and Fergus yet to go up from the chamber? Or
No,
are
she
they
hasn't gone up
coming-
yet. They're
Um,
waiting for everyone to go before they go up.
Okay. Before he goes up, Krozosh, just for the posterity, checks up if the room is stable and if anything's about to fall down, because he does not trust after the statue collapse.
Resident
Okay,
engineer here.
Krozosh the engineer. I like it. Roll a investigation check, please.
Okay. Coming.
Bring in the Army Corps.
That's a joke that only you and I will get, seriously.
That's
That's probably gonna make
10.
it more unstable than it was before. Watch him just run into shit.
Krozosh, you
Let's see
have
if
a
it's
poke around,
stable.
and you like sort of push on some columns, like, is that stable? And one of them goes and scrapes, but it doesn't fall over. It seems to be stable enough for the time being. Maybe not. You know, don't have a party on this bit, but it doesn't seem like it's going to collapse any further right now.
Fair enough. These two will survive. And then he goes up, joins the others.
Okay, so you are all now above the hole, and Ellie sort of ducks off back to camp with O'Donnell, and she's being very protective of her satchel, and she's sitting there by the fire, just talking very excitedly to O'Donnell about it. What are you guys doing?
I mean, this is where we get paid, right? We've done what we came to do.
Yeah, money's usually good right now.
Yeah, that's the third language that I speak is money.
Perhaps we should close the door in the entrance, so they don't come back out after us, and we just go home.
Probably a good idea.
But haven't finished telling about his
Let them go find their treasures forever.
I still have a Lenny to kill.
You do.
So I'm looking
Yeah,
back
I was
over at
kind
the
of
door.
counting
I'm
on
looking
you to
back over the
help me.
doorway. Where are they? What's happening over the doorway?
The
Walk
other
away.
group of mercenaries are nowhere to be seen. The workmen that were opening the door have now retired to their own camp, and they have now moved the melted face man. He's no longer just there in the middle of camp dead. They're taking it away to bury him.
How is the door? Can we see how the door is latched up or propped up?
It's like a huge granite slab, and it's just wedged open.
Now, wait a minute, guys. I do really wonder what happened to all the others that went in there. There must be something if they...
Of course you
not
do.
yet.
They're either dead, lost, or having a really good time.
I'd
Huge
like
And I would
dragonborn
enjoy
always.
any of those things. Let's go. Let's go.
At this point, Krozosh is seeming to agree physically to the calls to go, but deep inside he's just shaking up to learn more about that book. Because it is his nature, he just has to learn what it's all about.
Krozosh,
So-
do you
Yes?
know why there are no curious dragonborns still around? Because
I
they all
want
went into dark little holes and never came back out.
See, that's funny because you have me as a guide and I can see in the dark. So it's not even a dark little hole. It's okay.
No, it's funny because it's true.
It's actually a really, really nice hole. It's like kind of typically lit, but really nice.
Oh, I'm seeing his tunnel.
Reminds me of her.
I'm not scared of
Yeah.
tunnel. Are you scared of tunnel?
No,
Crazy.
but...
Well, I haven't heard any screams.
Maybe they're just
But
all
we do have what
melted.
we came for.
Could say that it's as quiet as the grave.
All right, at this point, Bryn has totally had enough of this. She's like, I've got a Lenny to kill. And she goes. She goes in. You can come.
Okay.
You're invited.
Okay,
But she goes.
Darak will go
Yeah,
after
Bryn.
Bryn.
I probably
I'll
of course I'll go
begrudgingly
after
go
Bryn.
after
She's-
Bryn.
A fellow half-elf, how can I not go after her?
She's a pain
Krozosh
in
will
my
join
ass,
as well.
what she is.
Okay, you
See,
all
this
heading
is the thing,
inside?
we're both opposites. She's the go-getter, I'm the dude-getter-dunner.
I'd like to cast light on my warhammer.
Uh-huh.
So like,
You're a dwarf. You can see in the dark.
yeah, but the Dragonborn can't.
That's his problem.
Not very good in dark spaces.
You might
I
be scared of the
appreciate
dark. I
that.
don't know, but he is curious.
All right, I would like to be extra cautious going through this tunnel, so probably moving
So would I.
slow
Stealth.
and doing a lot of perception checks.
That's
Or
funny. I
investigation,
thought you weren't scared
whatever.
of tunnel.
I'm not scared of tunnel. I'm scared of traps.
I'm gonna be doing a stealth.
Okay, so can I get investigation check from Bryn and a stealth check from Fenwa, please?
21 from me.
I'm just following Bryn because I can't see very well.
Okay, but
course.
Fergus has lit up
That's got
everything
well.
with Warhammer, so you can see.
Oh, okay.
So
That works better.
I go
So what did we
Bryn,
get?
rushing
I
in.
got a
Did you
5.
a 5? Did you see anything up ahead?
Nah, we're good.
I'm whispering and going very quietly.
Okay, so
I'm trusting you, Bryn.
Fenwa, you sneak off into the shadows that cling to the walls in this place, because even though Fergus has lit everything up with his warhammer, there's tons of little nooks and crannies along the walls of small little shrines with long since decayed offerings in them. There's just like little crumbling sacks remaining, and so you just sort of like duck and weave. And I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Both of us?
Are you going far ahead of everybody, or are you walking with Bryn?
I'm right with Bryn.
Okay, I would like both of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Because she's looking for things, right?
She is. She's doing such a good job too.
And she's found something.
Well, he's just like
Sorry.
this, almost never trapped. Never trapped.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
we're
Jesus.
totally good.
Wow.
I rolled a 1, a natural 1, and I have a plus
Easy,
3, so
guys.
4.
Okay, so. Oh no.
I trust you, Bryn. You better not lead us into another trap again.
No, we're fine. We're fine. We're
Okay.
Just
So,
like last time, your bloodlust knows no bounds.
Bryn, as you say, we're fine. We're fine. Both of you step on a slab of, like a stone slab, and it suddenly gives way below your feet as you both plunge into a pit and take 7 points of piercing damage.
Oh,
As
pimple
there are
stuff.
large spikes beneath this pit.
okay.
What kind of damage?
Piercing.
I have 7, you said?
Tunnel
Yes.
damage.
7 points of tunnel
Now
damage.
look what you've done, Bryn. Look what you've done.
I always
have a
thought you
spike
looked
through
nice
my
with the
leg.
piercing. That's all.
But not my abdomen. I didn't need
Are
the
you
belly
guys
button
alright?
piercing like you.
What
All right,
happened?
just get
Oh,
up,
this is
get
just
up. I'll take care of you, and I'm
Belly
gonna
button
hoist him
piercing is
out.
very 90s.
Just a little pierced, that's all.
I'm gonna hoist him
So I
out
guess
and
he's just
climb
gonna
out
look over
and
this side
cast
and this-
cure wounds on him.
Nothing to
These
be worried
piercings
about.
are all the rage in Nairo.
Gyro.
What kind of gauge is this anyways? I poke my whole hand through like...
Oh god.
All right, so I'm gonna cast cure wounds on you.
Uh-huh.
Alright, how much is that for?
Are they both impaled? Have they both been impaled?
It's for 2. Oh my god, I can't roll today. Like, say you're fine. You're fine.
Because I'm back,
Useful
I'm
as always,
cursing the
Bryn.
rolls.
Useful
I'm
as
gonna
always, Bryn.
put my touch the back of both of them and cast 2 cure wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So
I'm fully
so Bryn heals for max,
Nice. Thank you.
and Benoit
Oh,
heals for 5.
Never mind, I'm not
Benoit
fully
heals for
healed.
5.
Ah,
Ah,
Oh,
okay,
you got
healed.
2
Okay,
from me.
perfect, perfect.
So you healed for 3. 3 out of 7 ain't bad.
No, you.
that's gross.
You heal for 5.
Oh,
Ah,
nice.
it feels much better.
Yeah.
This
got a
calls
wisdom
for
of
something
+4.
to work.
That piercing
Now,
heals
let's-
really quickly.
At this point, Krozosh calmly walks up to Fenwa and just clenches his shoulder, pats it and saying, "You'll be alright, mate, don't worry." And hideously uses Lay on Hands for the rest of the 4 damage left.
I'm fine.
Oh.
Really.
Are you? Ah, good. Fine. Let
I mean,
this be a
look,
bit
the
of-
hole's gone. The hole's gone. No more holes.
That was
I'm
better work than I
Yes,
saw.
You
All
said
right,
it was
I'm
only
going to
7
continue
damage, right?
forward, only more carefully now.
So,
was only
so
7
no
damage,
traps, right, Bryn? Nothing to fear in this tunnel.
No.
This
yeah,
time
no,
I'm
we're
going
good.
to keep moving, and this time I'll investigate as well. I think.
Okay. So, Fenwa and Bryn, you're now hyper aware of anything and everything that could possibly trigger a trap in this place. A speck of dust, a goblin, like
11.
doesn't matter.
Can I cast guidance on Fenwa?
Yes.
What does guidance do?
Fenwa, add a D4.
Okay, then that's 15. Oh no, I have to roll d4, don't I? Huh. Okay.
So you have to roll a
Roll
D4.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, they're right. 15.
13. Or, oh, with your +2. My bad, sorry.
Yep, 15.
Okay. So, Bryn is kind of like, no, so aware of traps, she's not aware of traps. And Fenwa, as she's walking forward, you see she's like a millimeter away from triggering a tripwire, and you're just like,
Pinwa. Excuse me, Bryn. Maybe I
Nothing
should
here,
go
nothing
ahead.
here. Oh, Except for that.
How far have we gone down this tunnel?
now for comedy's sake, I'd say 20 feet. But
Right.
now you've gone a
Everybody-
significant way.
Oh, I wanted to go out and grab one of the workers from the other group and just pay him to run down the tunnel.
That's not
a
very
real
nice.
idea.
No, it's not, but it's effective.
Okay,
It
I
is.
mean, you can do that.
Can't
Let's, for
deny
comedy's sake, do that.
I would very much like to do that, please.
Okay. So there's
Everybody,
one guy.
Just wait here.
Roll me a persuasion check.
With the dwarf.
Right, everybody wait here. I'm excellent at finding traps, and I'm going to go outside and find someone, and hopefully not completely fuck up this persuasion roll.
Oh, bad.
I didn't roll in the chat, and that was a nat 20. God damn.
Oh. Doesn't
Okay, that's a
Hey,
16.
whoa.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm not charismatic.
So you approach the group of workmen, and you basically jangle a coin bag and be like, "Yo, got a job for whoever wants the coin." And
It's not
one,
actually got like coins in it. It's like bits of iron and shit and
I imagine like screws and
Yeah.
stuff, nails, yeah.
Chaotic
like
Evil.
a collection of screws and nails.
Chaotic Evil here.
One plucky young lad, who weirdly, for some reason, is a old-timey London chimney sweep, goes, "All right, governor, I'll do it." And
Go on.
you will step aside as he sprints down this tunnel, and
I'm going to step
you
back
hear
on that wire with Bryn.
you hear. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You step back from the wire. I imagine everybody just kind of ducks to the sides as this happens,
Yeah.
as this kid comes sprinting
I'll
past.
guide him past the pit and I'll point out the wire to him. I'll be like, look, don't trip
I'm just
over
pointing
that.
to the wire too.
Just run. Just go.
And he smiles at you, so full of hope for his very bright future that all that gold you were going to give him will get him. It'll get him out of menial labor. He'll be able to
Will.
go to school. He'll
Lad,
be
you're
able
never
to.
gonna have to sweep a chimney ever again. I promise you that.
And his little face lights up as he sprints down the corridor. There's a
said to
horrendous
Bryn-
cacophony. Oh, go ahead.
You think it'll help him into the afterlife? I heard he has to pay a wage to get through the sticks, eh?
It's gonna solve all his problems.
There's a horrendous cacophony of clicks and snapping sounds and grinding sounds as every single trap in this corridor is triggered by this young lad. And you watch as he ducks and dives most of them, and he's amazing. Like, he's ducking under arrow walls, he's like swinging axes, he makes his timed jumps perfectly. And he stands there at the end looking triumphant, for a boulder lands on him.
Krozosh, already foreseeing this ending, just casually kneeled down, holding his paladin amulet, just praying for his poor soul.
He's gonna need
Torrent's
it.
like, I don't think any of our
How
magic will
is it-
help him.
No, but
Is it too late to
nothing to
cast
fear
Spare
about
the
this tunnel
Dying?
anymore.
My question is, where's the bodies of the mercenaries? How did they get through all this?
I
I
imagine they
was
were
about to ask
cautious.
that.
Oh, you mean they didn't have a Bryn on the team? He looks over her like with disdain.
Yeah, clearly they no, they had somebody just like me on the team.
Just like Bryn, but competent.
Of course, Bryn.
Bryn
would you like to
marches
carve your name on
forward
this?
indignantly.
Don't forget to carve your name on the trap.
I shoot
Bryn
an arrow
triggered.
at his feet and keep going forward.
I follow, like,
Arrow.
watching for traps.
I get the arrow and I just mark. Bryn triggered this.
Bryn was in
There's
1997.
something there, Fergus.
I said previously, like, is it too late to cast Spare the Dying on him as he got hit by the boulder? But I feel like it's a bit late.
No, sorry.
Look, if you bring him back, I'll have to pay him, and I can't pay him.
You look at the lad, and he's like jam at this point. There's
seems
nothing
to-
to bring back.
Oh. That
It's
is
definitely
good.
triggered.
So, at the end of this corridor, this large tunnel, it branches off to the left and to the right into two other corridors.
Ah, the classic adventure's way. It cannot be 3 and it cannot be 4. It has to be 2 branches, left and right. I say we
Do you reckon?
together.
Do you reckon there's more stupid London lads outside who might want to go for a jog?
Can we tell which way the others went? Like, Dust's is
Roll me an
Investigation, I think.
investigation. Yeah, let's have investigation checks.
I'm with you. Bryn.
Louise.
That's my investigation.
Wow, we are
Oh.
so good, Bryn.
Hey,
Yep.
well, you know
Oh.
what to do, Doxy. It's hashtag blame Chris.
Yeah.
It is. Blame
Ow.
Chris.
We all rolled so bad.
I was like, Torrent got 11.
Look on the ground.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Chris, what have you
I think I
done?
rolled like the highest with a 12.
Okay, so I'll go around everybody so we're not all shouting at the same time. Darak,
5.
Bryn,
I think I hit the highest with the 12.
Fenwa,
12.
12, Krozosh,
8.
Fergus, 14,
Muted.
Yeah.
yep, and
Yep,
Torrent,
that's 14 for him.
11.
11. Okay, so Fenwa, Fergus, and Torrent, you can see that to the left, there appears to be some scuff marks in the sand. There's actually a mark on the wall where they've sort of marked it with chalk in an arrow. These lot are just too oblivious. They're too focused on the boy jam to notice the arrow on the wall.
I think they went that
I
way.
believe they probably went this way. Do you want to go the other way or follow them?
Hmm.
Let's follow them. Definitely.
Of
They've
course, you
cleared
want to
traps.
be all you can think about Linny. You and Linny.
How big is the
Also,
boulder
Lenny
What
is
if it's
from this
reverse
lad?
psychology though? They marked it to go left, but they actually went right.
I am sure there would be more hints though. rather than just
What-
one chalk mark.
Susie, how big is the boulder that fell on our friend?
It's pretty big.
Is it too
About-
big for us to like roll it down the corridor in front of us?
Genius.
But it is covered in boy jam.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
like
favorite kind of
I
jam.
would do
Yeah.
as well.
All right.
Torrent
That's
like
fine.
creates some water and washes off Boy Jam a little bit.
So Torrent whips out the Genasi water pipe and is just like,
So you've tried mummy, have you tried boy jam? Mummy with boy jam, it could be a good mix.
Yeah.
At this point, just to gross the others out, Krozosh reaches down, gets a bit of jam on his fingers, and brings it to his mouth. Almost giving the lick.
Bryn high fives you.
Ah.
I threatened
the
to
looks
spray
on
you
your
with water.
faces. The looks on your faces. I love it.
How did you live this long, Krozosh? How really did you live this long?
okay.
Nobody has
So-
any idea.
You begin to roll the boulder down the corridor, and you see that it's starting to open up a bit. It's not as tight as it were. You can stand 3 abreast now rather than 2. And you start making your way down, and you see that now there's carvings on the wall. And you see it in terms of priests making offerings to gods. And you see a body being taken from what you can assume be the house along a river and all sorts of crazy stuff to arrive at a temple with gods overseeing it. As you make your way towards the end of this corridor, there's another to the right and a small chamber in front of you. But as you make your way to the bottom, you hear carried on the winds the words Yatumi, 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 and then a scream. A really just like a supernatural, just bestial scream just reverberate. You're not entirely sure where it came from. It felt like it came from everywhere. Like a roar.
Sounds like they found something.
And we still
That
want to
sounds
go find
foreboding.
them, right?
I think something else found them.
Krozosh
just
will
seal
try
them in.
to listen in to discern what that scream is. If it's a
Mhm.
creature he does know.
Okay, roll a
Survival or nature?
Yeah,
nature. We'll go nature.
yeah
For the
that makes
record, I
sense.
agree with Fergus. We should just go and seal them in.
That's
Yeah.
a 19 total.
19. You do not know what this creature is, but it sounds humanoid.
Okay.
Right now, this big boulder is blocking this whole hallway, but the sound is coming. Pretty much, we're pushing it down the hallway, and you're
Mhm.
seeing things as it goes past.
Yes.
I'm gonna step back away from that boulder.
Mhm.
At least 10 feet.
Okay.
You know, OSHA standards.
Alright. Bryn is gonna be like, if that guy kills Lenny before I kill Lenny, I'm gonna be really mad, so we need to make a decision here.
Wow, you really have something about Lenny guy.
I like
I think she
handsome
likes
men.
him.
Handsome man wants Lenny blood.
She likes all blue eyes outside.
She's a collector, I think,
I'm
of what I
flirting.
don't want to talk about.
Have you never flirted before?
This is how it's done.
Need the
She's
blood
not wrong.
of the enemy of the man that you wish to woo.
I've
You
done it
know
loads
what's
of
gonna be
times. She's not wrong.
You know what's gonna be so funny? When we get down there and it is such a hideous something we find that we will be so compelled to fight together with this Lenny guy. And I will be right all along. I just want to see that.
I'm so
Of course.
super ready for you to tell me that you told me so when I'm carrying Lenny's head back on my back.
And we're not
fine.
even getting
Have
paid
it
for this
your way.
part.
Have it your way.
No, this part's just for the lulz.
For the lens.
So are we
the
moving
lens.
forward then? Who's moving the boulder? Come on. Let's keep it moving at least.
Alright.
One forward or
Yeah.
backwards.
Ugh.
Can we give it like a good hard
Fine.
push and get
Give
it
it up.
going under its own
I'm
momentum?
not moving that
Okay,
boulder
yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah. You're not putting that much effort into it. I mean, come on. So you're just sort of pushing it and using its own momentum to propel it down the corridor.
Yeah.
As you do, you hear the sounds of feet shuffling, and a man in pain, and you see just beyond the boulder one of the mercenaries from before. His back is to you all, but his hand seems to be running along the wall as if he's trying to find his way. He has no light source.
Are you melting? I shout down the hallway.
Hey, can you hear us?
Are you dead?
And you see this figure spin around, and as he does, it's a horrible sight. His eyes are missing, and his tongue is missing, and you hear him say, very garbled out of his mouth, "You took my eyes."
At least
At least you're not melted.
Something like that.
You look
Krozosh,
like you took a bit more than your bloody eyes, mate.
that's true.
Why that's so funny.
Having a regretful laugh to all this beautiful banter, he kinda rushes towards the guy and
Don't get in
starts
front of the
checking out
boulder.
what exactly happened to the face. Tries to
What
understand
took your
how
eyes?
the limbs. What took the eyes? How did the limbs just start melting
Okay,
off?
so make a medicine check.
Medicine check, of course.
Are you gonna slip past the boulder, or what are you
Sorry.
gonna do?
Yeah, because there's no stopping this thing.
Susie,
Mm.
while this is going on, can we like look on the ground for like two kind of round-looking stones?
Yes, you find some.
Oh, wait, has anyone got a dagger?
Bryn passes
Yeah, I
off
have
her
a dagger.
dagger.
Sure. What do you need
I
the
start
dagger for?
scratching
Hold
like
it out.
little. I'll start scratching like little pupils into each of the stones and like.
No.
You are morbid. You are morbid for this.
So Krozosh, as you're checking this guy out, you're looking at his face. You can't see like any tool marks where his eyes may have been prized out or cut out. You can't see. There's no sort of knife that would have sliced his tongue. You're not entirely sure how this person took this man's eye and tongue.
This is strange. It's as if the eye just popped out of by their own, and the tongue, it's as if it's been held always.
Fergus,
This is
you
weird.
step forward and you
My
place these stones in this guy's eye sockets.
He's much easier to look at now. It's a good idea, Fergus. Like, thought it was morbid.
Is he?
But here's the thing. They're kind of sandy because they've been in this tomb. So he just screams in pain as you rub sandpaper into his eye sockets, you sick fuck.
We've given you eyes. We've given you eyes.
Who took your eyes?
And he's just screaming in agony at this point. And then further on, down behind him, further into this tomb, you hear a series of screams, and you recognize these voices as the mercenaries from the camp.
Well, they acted as a fodder, just like we thought.
All right, so Bryn's gonna real quick put this dude out of his misery. He's gonna nobody deserves that. She's gonna just slit his throat.
Yeah.
You want
So
me to
you
roll
just
an
like,
attack roll or anything?
No.
We're rolling a boulder. Why don't we just roll the boulder and keep it moving?
Because that would hurt a lot worse. He's been through enough.
Yeah, you just you're like, oh, and just
You
slit
wouldn't
his
see it
throat.
coming.
You wouldn't see it coming.
He'd feel it coming.
I don't hear him complaining.
What if he falls down feet toward boulder? Like, no, I'm not killing that guy that way. No.
That was
Just trying to
So we
keep up
have
the boulder
man jam
combo.
with the side of boy jam.
How are we getting around? How big is this boulder? Because like, are we actually able to get around it and walk around like one?
Yeah,
single
climbing
file to get
over.
past it?
Yeah, it used to be, the corridor was about 10 feet across to fit two
Oh,
of
it's
you.
bigger?
But now the corridor opened up so you can move down the side.
Oh, okay.
You heard a series of screams.
I hear a scream.
I'm going towards the scream. I'm
Okay.
not discussing it. I'm just going.
All right. So
I follow, or I go to.
10 gold, she
Alright.
steps in a trap.
All right, so you run down the corridor, and it opens up into a large tomb area, and you can see pillars. I think about 6 pillars or so leading into this great room, and it's shaped like a pyramid, but it's underground. And you see there is a dais with almost like a sarcophagus laid on it. And stood in front of it is a bald man wearing black robes. His eyes are heavily lined with black coal. And beside him is Lenny. And you see around Lenny's neck, there's about 90 necklaces with various holy symbols on them. And you see before them on the ground 4 just shriveled husks. And you see from what's laying around them, the crossbows, the swords, the axes, that these were the mercenaries. And Lenny is now wearing the archaeologist's fez.
I am going to shoot Lenny.
Okay, roll an attack.
Priorities, I like it.
It's my kill, dude.
She's got bags.
Oh my God!
It's just an official thing.
Okay, so Bryn, you're like, Lenny, you motherfucker, and you fire a shot and it goes about 6 feet wide. And I would like everybody to roll initiative.
If anybody sees me, at that moment, a great sword appears in my hand, just poof, and suddenly appears a great black sword just appears in my hand.
I rolled really well, Susie.
Did you?
Honest. No.
I'm rolling
I don't
terrible.
remember how to roll initiative.
Well,
Dexterity
it's your dexterity modifier plus
Yep.
20. Your
Yep.
20.
No, there's a button for it. Is what I'm talking about. It's okay though. There we go.
Oh, there's probably that too. Yeah, it's on the main.
All right, so the way I do this is I will ask for any initiative scores between 25 and 20.
I wouldn't start that high.
No, that's probably a long shot, huh? 20 to 15.
Bryn has a 17.
I got
Bryn
a
has
15.
17. Okay, and then that is Crozo.
Krozosh is a 15.
Okay, 15 to 10. Oh, folks. What'd you get, Tart? 12?
12. Sorry, the cat was screaming, so I muted myself.
That's all good. 5?
Exactly.
8.
8.
I hope it wasn't crimson.
And 5 to 0.
I have 8.
Okay.
Oh, Will, you're muted.
I'm just taking my time.
That's a big old 3.
Big free from Fergus.
Holy shit, I'm not last.
A cleric is last, though, which does keep up tradition.
A dwarf cleric as well.
A dwarf cleric.
A dwarf cleric, yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
You're
There you go.
honorary Darak for this week.
I'm so sorry. Um,
I'm okay with this.
Should I be rolling initiative for Marzipan too?
yes.
Okay.
I forgot about Marzipan. Sorry, Marzipan.
It's okay. You got
After you
It's
said-
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So,
bringing the pain
hey,
early.
here's
It
the thing.
seems.
Here's the thing. Fergus isn't last anymore.
Woo! The mummy's curse is broken.
Okay, so it is the Imhotep's turn, and he will turn towards you, the group, because he was looking over the sarcophagus in front of him, and he is going to
Kill us all.
He turns around and screams, and as he does, his jaw distends horrifically like 90s CGI. and a swarm of scarab beetles just flow out of his mouth. I would like Bryn to... Nope, never mind. It's not a saving throw. It's an attack. Oh, that will hit. That's an 18 on the dice.
Yep, that hits for sure.
You take 9 points of piercing damage as a swarm of scarab beetles enclose you and just like nip at you from all over. One goes under your skin and your neck, and it's horrifically painful as it burrs its way up out of your face and flies out of your cheek.
Ah, Bryn.
JJ, what am I doing here?
I love how Will
I
just starts
throw
dancing for
blue
Bryn.
eyes.
Like, Will's dancing for Bryn.
And then he is going to point at... Wait, who... So, let me get a marching order who is up front in this room.
I'm definitely not
I
in
know
front this
I
time.
am.
Wait,
Do we still
there's a
have the
map.
boulder?
What
Because
am
we
I
have the
doing?
boulder. I'm behind the boulder.
I'm behind Bryn.
You're muted again, Will.
I was probably
I'm still-
making up.
I'm behind the boulder.
card.
Behind the boulder.
Mhm.
Yep.
Totally
Safe behind the boulder.
Safe behind the boulder.
Okay.
That's why we're going last, man.
Yeah,
It is, I
absolutely.
believe,
Yeah, it
yes.
makes sense canonically.
Ooh,
So
I
this
mean,
is
that's a pretty
kind of
map.
what you're looking at.
Oh, wow. We have... Wow, there's maps.
There's a map.
Okay.
So he will point to Fenwa, who was next to Bryn, I believe.
Definitely 90 CGI right here.
And he will... I need you to make a strength saving throw, please. Fenwa, could you make me a strength saving throw, please?
Oh, yes. I didn't know you were talking about me. Strength saving throw.
Sorry. Yep.
Excuse me. Strength saving throw would be... There you go.
Oh, nailed it.
Okay.
That's
You see him
14 plus
gesture.
0.
You see him gesture towards you, and you feel your body lock up, as if something is grabbing you, and sands
Brennan
begin
on
to
me.
swirl around you.
Great.
You are now considered restrained until the end of his next turn.
Donark?
Yeah.
I'm right beside you. Can you see this?
I can. I will do something about that shortly. in roughly 6 seconds' time.
That brings us to the end of Imhotep's turn. It is now your go, Bryn.
All right, I'm gonna shoot Lenny.
Okay.
Oh, I did the wrong one. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all
Of
good. It's all
course.
good.
All right,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
a
you might have
19.
actually hit him this time.
19 hits. Roll
And
damage.
that first one was damaged. If you want to take that, otherwise I can roll again.
Sure, you've already
I'll
rolled
roll
it, so
again if you
11. No, we'll take it.
Okay.
So that's 11 damage to Lenny, and he screams a very high-pitched scream as you shoot a bolt right into his shoulder.
And I'm gonna shoot him again.
Oh gosh.
Oh shit.
18,
Yeah, that hits.
11.
This guy, when he hit me,
take
I have no
a-
way to react, right?
No, unfortunately not, no. Bryn, you aim with your crossbow for the other shoulder, and now Lenny's just pierced in both shoulders, and he screams and he's falling backwards over the dais.
God, Lenny, so sorry. Butterfinger's trying to shoot the guy. God, Lenny, sorry.
As he does tumble backwards, he disturbs the shroud that was covering it, and you see beneath there is another mummy. Okay.
What have you done?
Which will bring us to Krozosh. Unless there's anything you want to do as a bonus, Bryn. right, Krozosh, you're up.
Okay, so how far am I from the Imhotep?
You are, if you're at the entrance of there, you are 30 feet.
Okay, so can I sprint to get next to him?
Mm-hmm.
As a move?
You sure can?
Yeah, I will go get next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And considering I can't attack him because I use my move, is that right? Or
No, you can attack him. 30
Okay.
feet is your movement, right?
yeah, I move.
Yep, so you can move and then you can attack.
Okay, so I shall make an attack, and let me see what I do for that. Okay. Sorry, this is the part where it comes out that I have never played D&D, and I don't have any idea what to do.
It's all good, it's all good.
That's my first attack roll, and let me see what's my hit.
Ooh, so that was 24 to hit. Yeah, that absolutely hits.
Yep. Let me see damage. I have 7 plus 2. I forgot to add the modifier there.
Okay.
So that's it. And because of my class ability, I have an extra attack.
Yep,
so
go
I'll
for
be
it.
rolling for that again. Ow. That is probably a miss, I suppose.
A 7 is a miss, unfortunately, yep.
Yep. There we go. And with that, I end the turn.
Okie doke. Which will now bring us to Torrent.
Is anybody within melee range of the monster guy?
Yes, Krozosh just ran up there.
Oh.
Krozosh is a paladin, though. He's got plenty of health.
Not the highest health, but I will take it.
Thunderwave? I will, instead of Thunderwaving people, I will cast...
Is Thunderwave lightning damage?
No.
No.
It's thunder damage. Yeah. So I will do Guiding Bolt at the Mummy Man. So I need to do... What's my... Let's read. Attack. Yes? Did that not work?
You need to roll it in the chat box.
Oh.
If it'll do it. There we go. I think.
There we go. Oh. 6 to attack. 6 to hit.
Unfortunately, that didn't hit. You're a bit taken aback by everything that's happening. You know, there's a boulder with void jam on it. There's, a man with no eyes. Lenny's just been shot by Bryn for no reason, and now there's a mummy.
Hey, it's not no reason. This is true love.
Well, true love.
So unfortunately, Torrent, your spell goes wide. But this will now bring us to Fenwa.
Okay. Well, first I have to get out of this. Do I have to roll strength something to get out of this? Be restrained?
You. Let me just check the spell. The thing that you used. Nope. It just says you are restrained until the end of his next turn because you failed that one save.
So that looks like I guess I can't.
Restrained. Ow. I can't remember what restrained lets you do.
Restrained, I can do a strength something to get out of it, but maybe the spell doesn't let me.
So being restrained, your speed becomes 0. You can still attack, but you have a disadvantage on any dexterity saving throws, and anything that wants to hit you has advantage, basically.
Okay. Then I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast because I'm a warlock.
Nice.
So I'm just going to
Hit that
go.
warlock button.
Well, let's go Warlock.
Pretty much. How do I cast it on this thing? What do I need to do? The 1D.
So
You have to roll an attack roll first for Elephant.
I have 2 beams at 5th level. 2 beams at 5th level. So 2 1D10s, I guess.
Do you have to roll to hit for Eldritch
So-
Blast, I think?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that's
make
what
a
I do.
ranged
Roll
spell
it
attack.
twice. Yeah.
I had to roll the hit, so I have an 8. Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
I'm not.
Oh, so the first one misses. No, wait.
It's one attack
Sorry,
for both.
It's one attack
beams,
for
I
both.
think.
So unfortunately,
Darn.
your beams go
I'm really
wide.
restrained. Yeah.
You're restrained.
Oh no, you make a
yourself,
sorry, you make a separate attack roll for each beam, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm just reading it now.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
then that means
so-
the next time I'm gonna get 19.
19 hits.
And 1d10. There we
Ooh,
go. 1d10 force. Force damage.
Nice.
And so.
Okay.
Right at you,
so
mommy.
even though you're kind of like you like and zap him, and the shot hits him and blasts a little hole in his arm. Derek, you're up.
Cool.
Let me guess.
So
Let me guess.
Cheeky bugger.
Sanctuary on yourself.
That'd be new. Yeah, I am gonna cast Sanctuary on myself as a bonus action. I wonder what gave that away.
It just
Wild, isn't it?
I'm a psychic.
You love Sanctuary. It's the best spell.
No, love it. Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
So seeing that Fenmark can still attack,
Mhm.
I'll leave him to it. I'll cast Sanctuary myself as a bonus action.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that I can tell that this thing is undead. Yeah. I'm gonna try and turn him then as my action.
Oh.
So he will have to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, he makes it.
Damn it. Okay. Then I'm just gonna take cover behind my boy jam boulder.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
From one
Boy
disaster to another.
Yeah. That's my new band.
As a
by the way,
bonus
Boy
action,
Jam
I'm going to
Boulder.
cross. As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon right above
Mhm.
Old Mate
Mhm.
and make a ranged attack. Melee spell attack against him.
Yeah, go for it.
We've got a 22 to hit.
Yo, that hits.
For 7 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
Nice.
And then with my main action, I'm going to cast the spiritual Sacred Flame cantrip.
Okay.
So he needs to make a DC 15 Dex save.
Ooh. Oh, wait. 14. Dang it. So that will hit.
Let me just check how much damage that actually does, because it's 5th
I think it's
level.
2d8.
You might be right. You're
Yeah,
probably
I
right.
played a cleric for a year, but I barely remember anyway.
So we got 5 and 5. So 10 points of radiant damage.
Ooh, nice.
And
Okay.
I'll jump back behind the boy gem boulder again.
Which will bring us to Marzipan.
All right, he's going to go and attack the mummy man.
All right.
All right, he gets to bite and slash and claw. I guess.
What is Lenny doing right now? I'm curious.
Oh my god, I
Is he
keep
just
doing
standing
that. I'm
there?
so sorry.
Lenny is
Not letting
currently
it.
braced against the dais, looking terrified and looking like he's about to scarper. 11 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, and then he's going to go in with the
Second.
claws.
All that hits.
Marzipan!
That's a Pete.
Marzipan, there we go.
All right. So hits upon Imhotep it's been pretty good, but nothing compared to this ferret that launches himself and just claws the shit out of this guy, tears up his robes, something fierce, and you see him like as he tries to kick Marzipan away. Which will bring us to Lenny, because I forgot to roll for him, and guess what? He rolled like shit. Who is going to use his full movement and action to sprint out of here. There is, let me see at the map. Oh shit, there's no way out of here. Now he will move as far back as he possibly can, right up against this back wall. Which will now bring us back to Imhotep, and you feel the sand and the constriction release around you, Fenwa. And Imhotep turns around. He raises his hands and begins chanting something. And you feel the sands around you swirl, and you watch as they...
Can I do a counterspell?
Yes, if you would like to counterspell.
I would like to counterspell this time.
Yay!
Counterspell, what does it do? Okay, equals the DC equals 10 plus the spell level, which is automatically level 3, so 13.
Mm-hmm.
If it's casting a spell 4th level or higher. If it's a 3rd level or lower, it's automatically successful.
Okay, yeah, we'll say for the purposes of this, he does it, and he's chanting. You reach out, you say your words for counterspell, and the sands that were stirring around him just collapse. And he turns around and he points at you, Fenwa. But that will be his full turn. Bryn, you're up.
Did you just hiss at me? You just hissed at me.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot Imhotep?
Uh-huh.
Him?
I think he's
He was
hissed at
definitely
you.
named for Imhotep, the very, very famous architect, and not the other one.
Not the other one. Similar but legally distinct from.
Yes. Imhotep the architect existed.
The 16
A
hit?
16 does... wait a minute, let me double check. Does not hit.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay.
That also will not do it.
16 doesn't hit.
I
Shit.
just don't have the same bloodlust for him as I do for Lenny.
It's just there's not a passion there. The heart's not in it, Bryn. Right. So, Krozosh.
So I'm sorry, I got a little bit lost there. Were there 3 creatures, including Imhotep and a mummy, or is there just?
There's Imhotep. There's Lenny, who is now at the back of the temple, and there's a mummy laid out on the dais where you are. It's like a little altar.
Did the other mummy save against my turn undead?
The other mummy is literally just a mummy.
Oh, it's not alive.
It's a dead body. No.
Right. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
If someone hadn't used counterspell.
That changes my plan. Well, I will make my attack roll, but before that, as a bonus action, I cast Searing Smite, and which means basically it will add to my damage, and if it hits, I will explain what it does.
All right.
There we go. Right to hit.
Let's see how you do.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
No,
roll.
it's all right. No worries.
Oh, that is a good one.
Oh,
So-
is that a nat 20?
Yep, because the other one didn't roll into the nats. Yeah. Okay,
That's a critical hit. So,
Yep.
any damage dice you roll twice that number.
Okay. So, that's a 3, which would be 6 plus 2, right?
No, so you roll double the amount of dice. You don't roll once and then double it. So if you roll 1 dice normally, you'd roll 2. If you roll
Okay.
3, you'd roll 6.
So, okay, my plus 2 applies to this one too, right? So that should be a 5. Now, applying my plus 2 again. That would be a 7. So
All
5
right.
plus 7 is 12, and in addition to that, if the creature I hit fails a Constitution 15 save,
Mm-hmm.
no, sorry. First, my attack deals a 1d6. So that is a again plus
That's
6.
okay, no worries. Oh, a
And
6.
then- Yep. Me and rolling out of chat only to get a better dice. Loving this. So, the creature makes a Constitution 15 save, and on a failed save, it takes 1d6 extra fire damage,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, this roll will this will be at the start of each of its turns until the
Okay.
spell duration is 1 minute. Sorry.
All right, so that's like most of the fight. Okay. Before I do roll this saving throw, I would just like to point out Doxy's flying cat.
There's a desk here, and I have a green
It's
screen over it.
It has just made my day.
That is a save on the Constitution saving throw, so he doesn't take that damage this round.
Okay. So that should end the spell. Yes. Successful save will end the spell.
Okay, so unfortunately that doesn't kick in, but you did do a really nice chunk of damage with that crit, which will now bring us to Torrent.
Actually, I do get a second damage throw.
You do!
if it's
I am
alright.
so sorry.
So
I'm
that's
really bad at remembering that.
8 plus 5.
Mhm.
Because I didn't add my bonus. Does that hit?
8 plus 5, unfortunately not, no.
Okay, then that's your turn.
Alright, so Torrent, you watch as Krozash lets forth these mighty blows against Imhotep, but he seems to be pretty okay. He's not showing any major signs of injury, beyond that tiny hole in his arm that Fenwar blasted out with an Eldritch Blast.
Can I get to Fenwa to be within touching distance without provoking an opportunity attack?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I am going to cast Shield of Faith on Fenwa,
Mm-hmm.
which is +2 bonus to AC for Fenwa. And then which actually has 60 foot, it's not touch. I'm still going. So, but and then I would go towards the mummy to hit him with my hammer, 2 hands.
Alright. So, roll your attacks.
See, I thought I macroed this. I don't know if I did. Oh, I did. Oh, I did! Hey!
Hey!
So
17 hits.
17 hits. Alright, and then I just... It's 1d10 plus 2, so... 12 points of damage.
12
Bludgeoning
points of damage. Hot dang. Okay, so Torrent, you know having this guy's games, you just run up and just whack him, and you deliver a really nice blow to him, and he sort of recoils a bit. But you sense that perhaps his attentions are focused elsewhere on a certain half-elf warlock that interfered in his spell. Which will now actually bring us to the target of that Aya, Fenwa. What's your move?
You shouldn't have hissed at me.
And I go run forward, and as I run forward, I curse him.
Ooh.
Curse you and pale wrappings. They're turning brittle. And then, I know it's really lame. What that does is for 1 minute, I get +3 to my damage rolls. 19 or 20 is critical hit. And if it dies, I get 10 hit points. Okay,
Whoa.
so I
All right.
roll D20. I get a strike twice with my invocation, which was a terrible roll. So that's 3 plus 8, 9, 10, 11.
Unfortunately not, nope.
All right, this 15 is +8, so I think 23 hits.
Yeah. 23 definitely hits.
Okay, sweet. That's gonna be 23. Does that mean? Wait, I didn't roll 19. Okay. 2d6 plus 5. 1. Ooh. Okay, so 7 plus 5.
12.
12.
Nice. Okay. So, yeah, after you run forward and like, should have hissed me, you curse him, and you let loose these blows, and he growls back at you. And it looks like he's getting ready to wind up and clock you one. But, Darak, your move. Yeah, muted.
Try that again. Fenwa, how are you doing for health? Do you need healing?
I can hear you.
Do you
need
need healing? Are you okay?
Myself? Yeah, I'm fine.
Alright, cool. Alright then.
On a scale of 1 to
case.
35, I'm feeling about 26, just for your information.
Good to know. Okay.
Alright, so also, Pierce, you can tell each other your hit points. We don't have to be like, if we were gauging, you know, we'd have to be quiet.
So, just to clarify, because it's been a while, if I cast a cantrip, I can also cast. If I cast a spell, I can also cast a cantrip as well, can't I?
So long as one of
Like,
those is a bonus
one's
action.
a bonus
Yeah.
action. Cool.
Yeah.
So I will bonus action healing word at first level on. Forgotten your name, Doxy. I've forgotten your character's name, Bryn.
Thank you.
So that's going to be 4 plus 7 because I'm Disciple of Life, so for 11 points.
Woo.
And then bonus action, I'll pop out from behind my boulder and I will cast Sacred Flame on Imhotep.
Alright.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, that's 21.
That'll pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll duck back behind my rock of safety.
Okay, behind the Rock of Ages. Fergus!
Alrighty. It's gonna be for my main action. I'm actually gonna do something a little bit out of, I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians at 3rd level.
Ooh.
So, so I'm designating whoever's in melee with Imhotep be immune from it. When the target creature enters the area for the first time or starts its turn there, it makes make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d8 radiant damage, or if I'm good or neutral, or on a successful save, it takes half as much damage.
Alright.
So 3d8 or half.
So we'll say because you cast it on top of him, he's entered it for the first time, so it makes the save. Let's see if we can... No.
No?
No.
So 3d8, that's 3, 9, and grand total of 10.
Okay, grand total of 10.
Radiant damage.
Okay.
And then as
So
my
what do
bonus
your,
action,
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
they appear as like little tiny dwarves with hammers, just like hitting away at the target.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that so much. That's so
amazing.
cool.
And my bonus action, I'm gonna make a melee spell attack with my spiritual weapon.
Alright.
Do they sing while they attack?
They do. That's a 24 to hit.
24 hits, yeah?
Yeah. Or 8 points of radiant damage.
8 points of radiant damage. Okay, so you all watch as Fergus pops out from behind the rock, points at Imhotep, and then suddenly a circle of small dwarves appear around him. They pull their hammers back, and one of them goes, hi ho, and then all they all hit him in succession. And then he spiritual weapon, boop. And I'm assuming you duck behind the rock of safety.
Yeah.
The two clerics hiding. Alright, Mazpain.
Alright, he's gonna do the same as before.
We ain't no dumb dwarfs.
Not gonna do it.
Nope.
Not gonna do it.
Nope.
Ours failed.
Look, so Mazpain's just very thrown by these musical dwarfs.
It's true.
They're whistling
Probably
now.
trying to
Wild.
eat him a little bit.
Yeah,
They look like good prey.
Yeah, he doesn't like the whistling, but they're doing it. It's playing with his ferret ears. Lenny is going to use his action to cower like a coward, and it's Imhotep's turn. You hear him speak a command word, and you see around his arms there were two golden bands shaped like serpents. As he does, they drop from his arms and turn up into snakes. And then...
Why is it always snakes?
Why is it always snakes?
And then he's going to turn to Fenwa. And he's going to say... He has a monologue planned. Fenwa just goes, shield! And he goes... and just tries to hit
Speak to the hand.
It will be 16 to hit, which I don't think will. Not with shield
20
and...
to hit.
Yeah, no, he doesn't hit.
Does the shield actually take the form of a giant hand, though?
Yes.
Just like to imagine this guy turns around with all the fury and Fenwa's just like... and it throws him. Doesn't manage to do it. He just... it's wild. So I just need to roll initiative for these new snakes. Fuck.
That's my last spell.
It was a very good use of that spell, though.
For sure.
Alright, which
did
will now
he make the wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom save?
Yeah.
I have to make a wisdom saving throw?
No, Imhotep does.
Sorry.
He fails.
Oh, poor guy. Oh no.
Finally failed
Died
the
by
wisdom save.
no.
1, 2.
The little notes are hidden one at a time. Ting, 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 ting.
6 damage total.
You hear them go, I ho, it's off the kill we go.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding.
There's almost something whimsical about this whole thing. Bryn, you're up.
Let's shoot this boy.
Hit the boy.
If we're being Disney about it. 18 does?
18 hits. Yeah.
And we're gonna do it again. So that was 11 damage.
11 damage. Oh.
24 hits, so.
Yeah.
And then 9 more damage.
9 more damage. Okay. Woo. He's starting to look a little bit like he's regretting all of his life choices. Is there anything else you would like to do, Bryn? Alright, Krozosh, you're up.
I am not liking the way this damn mummy is targeting all of us around us, except for me. I'm here, next to you, killing you to death, and you still look at Fenwa for some stupid reason. And for that, as a punishment to you and your little snakes, which I kind of like because they're my kin, I will be casting Bane against them. Which means if they fail a saving throw of Charisma 15, Whenever they make an attack roll or a saving throw, they roll a d4 and subtract that result from their rolls. So I cast a Bane, and they have to make a saving throw of 15 charisma each.
All right. Oh, that guy's charisma wasn't great anyway. So, fall?
He's not a really charming person.
Definitely falls to effect.
Yeah,
and for the snakes?
And the snakes, let me roll them. Nope, fails.
Okay. And for my bonus action, I cast Hunter's Mark against Imhotep, which means for 1 hour I deal an extra 1d6 damage, and also have advantage against wisdom, against perception and survival checks against Imhotep. So
Nice.
I cast that as well.
All right.
That ends my turn.
So, Torrent.
Okay, I guess I will just use my Warhammer with 2 hands and smash at him again.
Get him.
Ooh. Oh, that's plus 6.
That'll do
So,
it.
yeah, I was like, it doesn't matter. And then it was 1d10 plus 2. Yes. 5 points of damage, bludgeoning damage.
Hey, all damage is damage.
I just bonk him on the head with the hammer.
Like a comedy mallet, just bonk. It just bounces off bonk. All right, Fenwa, you're up.
Okay. And I said, oh, you shouldn't have done that either. And then I swoop around twice, sweep. I'm gonna cut you up. And, oh shoot, I can't push the buttons. Okay, what do I need to do? Just roll twice? That'd be 10 plus 9. I actually had a plus 1 weapon, I didn't realize that. Because it's with my improved pack weapon. So it's 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, and then 8 plus 9, 17.
17 hits too.
Woohoo! Okay, so it's 2d6 plus 5 plus 1. So 2d6. 4 plus 5 plus 1. So it's 10. And what was... Do it again. Here it goes. Okay, 10, 20.
20. Yikes.
So 20 points of slashing. And it cannot be resistant to... It's not a regular weapon.
Hot dang. So Fenwa, you a mixture of spite and anger, you slice this guy up and he looks real rough. Like he is barely hanging on. And this will now bring us to Derek.
They call me Chop Suey.
Cool, I've had enough of hiding behind my Bojan boulder. So, first I'm going to bonus action cast Spiritual Weapon. My giant lollipop hammer is going to try and hit him. Hopefully. So drop that on top of him and that will be... that will not hit him. Will not hit him at all. And then I'm going to grab my Warhammer and my shield and I'm just going to go hit him myself.
Alright, run up and whack him.
Yeah. Better roll this time, hopefully. That'll do. So
that might do.
25 to hit.
Yeah. Just about.
Just. For 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alright, Derek, how do you want to kill this guy?
You're kidding me. That's awesome. I would like to climb up the Bojan boulder and throw myself off it and just bring the hammer down and smush him back into the dust.
Okay. So you climb up and you almost fastball special yourself off this boulder and you do like a little tuck in the air to gain momentum and reduce drag as a small ball of dwarven hatred comes down upon Imhotep. And somewhere beyond, you hear the dulcet tones of a voice actor called Darren DePaul shout, "Hammer down!" as you bring the hammer down through the top of his head.
Yes.
And as
You
you
finally show up.
flatten him like an accordion, his last breath leaves his mouth, and you hear whispered on the wind, "Hammocks on a moon!"
What does
As
that
his
mean?
bones drop, and his robes drop, and his form loses that of a man and returns once more to bone. As his body drops, there's deathly silence in this tomb.
I step on the
no,
bones
there
to make a big
isn't.
crack sound.
Lenny's
Because
still there.
Bryn is going to run after Lenny. Yeah, with her swords.
Okay, so, Lenny isn't that good
I'm
at
gonna crack his
hiding in
femur.
this place. And he's there up against the wall going, I'll be your servant, I'll be your slave, I'll do whatever you want, don't give anything.
Bryn,
I'll show you
Bryn,
the shoes on my
listen
tongue.
to me. Please listen to me and give him a good fucking death. Make him scream and
Don't
regret
listen,
it.
don't
Lenny.
listen to the lizard man. He's crazy. He's
Finish
crazy.
him.
Bryn, I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything for you, Bryn.
I take my swords and I just kind of slash them like this and try to get him.
As you bring up your swords, he's like, "No!" And you and slice his throat and send his head rolling in the sand. His little shitty pencil mustache picks up sand, and now he has a sandy pencil mustache. His face rolls off.
Nobody likes a sandy
I
cat.
take his head and affix it to my belt.
Okay, so you
That's
take
a
his
good
noisy
thing.
head.
Now we've all
and
got our monsters. Can we leave?
as you say that, Fenwa, the chamber you're in begins to shake, and sand starts to filter down from up above, and you watch as everything seems to be falling apart around you. One of the columns tumbles over. You only have a few seconds to get out of here. I would like everybody to make athletics check, please.
Oh no.
Okay.
Athletics?
Athletics.
17.
Dollar, run for your lives. Okay, I'll
Also
go around for
17.
everybody.
Mine?
So we're not shouting all at once.
Wow, that's fun.
All right, so Darak, 17.
17.
Bryn,
That's a big 8 from me, dog.
Benoit,
3.
Fergus,
That's a solid 17.
Torrent,
Guess I shouldn't have stepped on his bones.
12.
12, Krozosh,
Not one!
Oh. Oh.
even split of successes and failures. How about that? So Darak, Bryn, and Fenwa. Which one of you got the higher, Fenwa or Fergus? I can't remember. Literally just said
I got 17.
Fergus. So Darak, Bryn, and Fergus, you guys just start running and diving for the entrance of this tomb, which is slowly starting to fill up with sand, and what you see as everything starts to, like, the frames are cracking and the plaster with all sorts of inscriptions and spells and all sorts on it starts crumbling and pulling away. You make it to the door and you turn around and you see that Fenwa, Torrent, and Krozosh seem to be getting bogged down in the sand. They're not making the speed that you guys are.
I would turn back to help.
I would not.
I'm going to turn back to help
What
and
did I-
also cast guidance on Torrent to give her an additional D4 for a minute.
Okay? So how do you help?
I'm gonna start tugging tugging and pulling.
All right,
at,
okay.
Whoever is furthest.
Yeah. I think it's Krozosh at this stage.
Just
All right.
gotta tug it and pull it.
Okay, so as you pull them and you make their way back into the corridors you came from, I would like another athletics check, please,
From all of us?
from all of you. Yeah.
Okay.
20.
When everybody's rolled, I'll go around again.
Torrent, you add a 1d4 to your result.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
As well.
All right.
Okay,
well.
so Derek.
Did not go back in.
No, but you're still running.
All right. Okay. Sorry. I'll roll them quickly.
That's all good.
There we
That
go.
is a 13.
13. Okay. Bryn.
I got a 13.
13. Fenwa.
6.
Fergus.
That's a big old 22.
Whoa. Torrent.
Nice.
16.
16. And Krozosh.
Right, we're rolling strength, right?
18. Okay, so everybody now seems to have found their feet. They seem to be able to maneuver now in the sand, except Fenwa. Fenwa's having some trouble. You have a chance to
guys?
save.
I grab Fenwa. Pull.
Yeah.
All right.
Fenwa
Okay, so
near
you grab
the
him.
surface of the sand.
Yeah, Fenwa seems to be getting can't keep his feet in the sand.
Okay. So considering I am relatively tall and have a halberd to my name, I will point my halberd towards him for him to hold on.
Okay. Do you offer him the pointy end?
Yes. because that was the position I was holding it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems
That makes
unnatural. That was the result.
Fenwa, you are offered the pointy end of a halberd.
Can I grab it with my crowbar?
Sure.
That would work. Like the halberd has a lot of ridges and stuff. So
Yeah. You could hook a crowbar on one of the edges.
The
You
crowbar,
make
yeah,
I'm holding
an
on to the other side.
adventure tow bar, and I would like one last dexterity check from everybody just to
Oh,
make your way
dexterity
through
check.
this final corridor
Oh
in which
shit!
every
Dexterity.
single
Oh my gosh!
good.
I know, I was
So
like,
there are
kidding me?
swinging axes.
okay.
why
I
is
got
this
an
not
8.
Ooh, okay, that's not great.
All right, so Darak, dexterity. Let me guess. Does it begin with a 1? It does. All right, Bryn. Dexterity check, if you
muted.
don't mind, please, Bryn. And you're muted.
I'm trying.
I'm dead. I'm
Oh,
That's a 5.
9.
5.
If
Fenwa?
anybody gets me out, I'll give them my hold creature spell.
What did you get, Fenwa?
I have a hold monster scroll. Anybody can get me out, they get my scroll.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a low. Fergus?
12.
12. Torrent?
Oh, it's not letting me do the thing in the thing. There we go. 6.
6. Crozo?
Yeah.
3.
I got an 8.
nothing to be afraid of with tunnels.
One of you, except Fergus, hit all of the triggered traps. Fenwa, you find yourself back in the spike pit. Bryn, you try to dance through swinging axes and they clip you. Darak, an arrow didn't trigger in one of the arrow traps and shoots you in the shoulder. Torrent, there's just a lot of stuff on the floor and you just eat shit. Each one of you takes 12 points of shame damage as you fail to make it through this time.
I'll take 7 points of that. I can
I deserve it.
The
I
worst
deserve it.
Yeah,
You
Oh,
manage to claw your way out, for better or for worse, as the tunnel
Guys, I got 2
collapses
piercing.
behind you. As you're all
It
there,
looks good on
clawing
you.
your way out in the sand, you look up to see Ellie and O'Donnell sat on the same camel, their saddlebags full of gold as they walk off into the sunset together
Those
and
rat
have a
bastards.
very romantic kiss. And there's a little glint
I cast-
of sunlight
I
off
cast
the
Eldritch
treasure.
Blast. 2 beams, 1 for each.
Yes! Please crit them both.
So I think that's 17 and 22.
You hit.
So here's 4 damage. Wait, 4 damage is 6 damage.
Okay, so incensed by being targeted by the mummy, getting pierced multiple times, you, in a fit of rage, fire your Eldritch Blast at this camel. And it's a beautiful romantic scene of them walking off together on the sunset, interrupted by 2 dark beams of energy that pierce their chests. And it's a 2-for-1. They're both huddled together in a very romantic embrace, and you fire both together. And you form a golf ball sized hole through both of them. And as they fall, there's a moment where the sun, as it sets, gets caught through the hole in their joint bodies as they fall off the camel. And that is where we will end our adventure for tonight.
Amazing.
We're leaving with our money.
What a way, man.
Oh boy.
That is not how I remember that film ending.
No, that would have been a very different movie if it had gone that way.
It's such a better ending.
Between.
Such a better
I don't
ending.
know if I hate this ending or if they completely deserved it. Let's be fair, they fucking deserved it. After all we went through, they don't even help us.
I'm surprised I even survived that. Thanks for saving me, guys.
Thank you all so much for playing with us tonight. It was an absolute blast as always. These things never, ever go like I expect them to. But what an ending to
Oh, wow.
The Dummy, starring you lot.
Dummy.
The dummy. That's so good.
So what we'll do is we will just go around everybody. I will ask you if you enjoyed it and where we can find you on the great wide internet. So we'll start with our guest first. Winged Horizon, where can we find you?
You can find me on Winged Horizon on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. And I also play every Friday on the Kitten Hugs in the Neberon game.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you very much for playing. It was great to try to kill Fenwa.
It was really great. It was my first time in 2 years since I've been on Encounter, so
Nice. Well,
I'm excited to be
All
back.
I'm glad to have you back. So, Quantum Witcher, where can we find you? And did you have a good time tonight?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter as Quantum Witcher, doing absolutely nothing interesting, except for the odd physics post or something, which I hope to do on Twitter. And thanks everyone very much tonight for making someone's first D&D game ever so great and so
Yay.
awesome.
Yeah!
Oh, I'm glad we could do that for you. I'm glad you had a good time. And I
What a
promise
start
most
to
of,
it.
most of D&D isn't like this.
Really?
I'll have
In my
fun
experience,
wherever
it
it
is.
goes, but this will stay as a great memory, honestly. Thanks everyone.
Aw.
Oh, thank you very much. All right,
Excellent.
so Will Avery, where can we find you?
Well, I'm in Twitch as Will_Avery. I don't stream yet. You can find me on Twitter at WilliamAvery94. I'll post them in the Twitch chat. And yeah, this sick bands, this talking about D&D, Critical Role, all that sort of fun stuff, and just chilling.
All right, nice. And did you enjoy yourself tonight?
I loved it. It's been far too long, and it's probably the best game I've played in a long time.
It's hilarious.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much
I
for
will
playing.
forever remember those 2 stones.
This
Oh, things got dark tonight, huh? So, last and very certainly not least, Crimson Kitty, did you have a good time tonight? And where can we find you on the internet?
I did have a very good time. I am Crimson Kitty on Twitter and Twitch. I theoretically stream on a schedule sometimes. I'm also on T Frederickson 80. Eventually, we will start doing another Friday D&D stream for charity, and I am on Heroes Hype on Mondays with the Open Division and Amateur Series doing production. So you don't see me; you just see my OBS screen. But I'm there.
Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It was absolutely great getting to play with you all. And so we will go to our weekly guests, not weekly guests, normal players. You two. Lexi, hey, I'm going to leave Chris till last. Hi, did you have a good time tonight?
I had so much fun. This gets funner every week. And Susie, you're one of the best in the biz. And I'm always so thrilled to play under you. I love it. Also I'm Zero Doxy. You can find me at twitch.tv/ZER0DOXY. I'm on about a bazillion other channels doing tabletop games. The best way to find me would be at twitter.com/ZERODOXY. Also, I'm a disgusting human being. You have been warned.
All eyes. Yo, Chris. Hey, yo, what up?
Yo, what up? That was super fun. It's really good to be back. Great to play with Doxy again, because I think I've only played with you once in this whole series somehow. That was rad. I really enjoyed that.
Super
you
fun.
Can find me. Yeah, totally fun. I can't wait for next week. You can find me on Twitters at Pangalactic. I run a D&D website called Loot the Room. I'm on the Greyhawk channel on Saturdays for a couple of games, and I'm in a band called Dead Throne. If you want to see me get waterboarded and killed in horrible ways, go check out our music videos and stuff on the YouTubes.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you both so much for playing. I love playing with you guys. I love playing with all of you guys. As for me, I am Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace, and you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, ArtStation, anything under Susanna Grace, and that's Susanna with one N. Please don't put two, because there's some poor American lady that has Susanna Grace with two, and she gets very confused when people tweet at her about vampires and things. So it's one N. But I am a variety streamer who is doing a lot of D&D these days. Every Monday on my channel, which is twitch.tv/Susanna Grace, there's a weekly campaign where I play a Dwarven Barbarian. And if you like my DMing, every other Wednesday on my channel, I DM a Curse of Strahd campaign called Fight Club, and it's with a lot of extra Ravenloft lore sprinkled in. Ravenlaw sprinkled in. It's a lot of fun. It's very silly like this, even though I try to make it serious. I try to give my villains pathos. But hey, last week we had a Barovian booty call, so take that for what you will. I'm here every Thursday. Every Friday, I play a wizard on the Greyhawk channel in Uprising in the Perrinlands. Besides that,
You play in Greyhawk channel?
I do.
Whoa!
I do. So yeah, if you want to find me, best bet, like others have said, follow me on Twitter. That's where I post all my links. And I think that's just about everything. Thank you, chat, for tuning in and having a good time. There is another D&D show, not D&D, roleplay show coming up straight after this. So stay where you are for some excellent, excellent content. And we will see you next week.
See you around.
Bye, everyone.